Clips.
Tonight at 11.
Doom! It's a plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning now! Excuse me.
This is not the Infowars Nightly News, where the answer to 1984 is not $19.95 plus shipping and handling, but the answer is to try and understand the double-barrel bullcrap, the double-speak, and the Orwellian wonderland we now find ourselves in. So sit back and relax as I take you through a real alternative look at the news and so-called alternative media alike. Enjoy.
Clips.
Stay safe. Subscribe, hit that bell. Ding dong, everything will be well. Alrighty, boob tubes. Another one of Kip's not so well prepared clips. Don't just need to find out the right ratio. What can I say? The golden ratio here. Hold on, getting close to it. Closer. Nearly. Hold on. There we go. Boom. Bang on the button. In the evening, everybody, welcome to Not the Infowars Nightly News. The original, the OG, baby, alternative look at the so-called alternative media. Skeptical with the spectacles, technically sunglasses, about the so-called skeptics and watching the motherfucking Watchmen, no matter who they claim to be. Right, boob tubes. Hope you are all well. Remember, thumbs it up, share it with your friends and your family and your foes. Remember, it's a digital busking show. It's all available and accessible free of charge. I'm going to do such a good job. You'll find value in what I do and use your spare change, not your life savings, in the PayPal button down below. And a mega thanks to all of those that do. And the evening, one and all. So, there's the lazy Jesus. How you doing? Crazy Maria, how you doing? The Council of Zen in the evening, man. Apple Charlotte in the evening, cha, how you doing? Kepler, Jesus, Council of Zen, the Creepy Crawl, the artist formerly known as Tony the Dot, how you doing, guys and girls? Thanks everybody for joining. Yvonne Brown, Maria, Richie, how you doing, Richie, my man? Twoof. Anywho, in the evening, one and all. Hope these are all good, well, and dandy. Hold on a second. Just double checking the gigabits on the gigabytes. Right, okay, get it. I get it, I get it, I get it. Right, all good in the hood. All good in the hood in the evening, one and all. So welcome to this week's Not the Infowars Nightly News. So I've said hi to the folk in the chat. Let's have a look what's on the show, then we'll get on with the chat. So I pick my placemat up. Okie dokie, pig in a pokey. Right. So, oh, do you know, I've just realised. Shit. Too much going on, man. EastEnders is good and EastEnders is good, and there's other stuff going on, and I forgot to organise my bookmarks. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it, but hey ho. So, let's do that live. Try to know why. Any other option? Right. So,
Tommy Robinson, he's
that's... Oh god, this is watching a screen within a screen, you know, it's all small, right? So, it'll be in the Buy My T-shirt Tommy cult. And then 2. Forgot. Internet Corona experts. Sounds about right. Forgot a folder for this sort of stuff yet. Let me call it YouTube. Anyway, good start. See, this is what I should have done. Instead of having fun and stuff earlier on. You know? Out of order. I should have focused. YouTube censorship. I'm on YouTube telling you about YouTube censorship. It's out of control. James Godtard was in the Buy My T-shirt Tommy folder. No, that's what I want for my Christmas. What do you want for Christmas today, Billy Bob? This year, Billy Bob, I want to buy my T-shirt Tommy, Daddy. Well, this is just BS Trump news. You know, it's, I don't know if anybody's noticed this with everything that's going on, but there is still an election going on in the United States. Some would say an important one. And it means that there's a lot of electioneering going on, which means that people are even using this pandemic as a political football. And it means on all sides you get realms of bizarreness, which, like, if you like, just scratch beneath the surface of it, doesn't make any sense. Maria, you gotta see her. Anyway, right, so what else have we got here? This is more... Oh, well, that could even go into international nationalists, but that will be the Corona experts. 5G. The 5G fear is here. Better believe it. So, you got me snap. Well, that's the war on China. Don't know if you've noticed, man, but they are turning the thumb screws up on China in every way, shape and form that they can. Okie dokie. Richie, surprise, surprise, ball deep in the bullshit. I'm just rhyming and repeating the bullshit. I didn't see it. Oh, there's Tommy Robinson and that, doing everything they can to provoke a la Akbar Nutbars. That's what they are. Agents and provocateurs. And then that's going to be internet corona experts. Here we go. Shuffling the deck, live on air, what can I say? Prepared as ever. So in the evening, what I know, there's K9 in the chat as well. Creepy crawl, Jesus. And at the evening, one and all, right. Get rid of that, get rid of that. So, this is why I wasn't prepared. I was sitting watching somebody build a PC, which I found really funny. So here's Tim Trump's best friend forever pool. This independent journalist who, if you look at what he puts out objectively, there's no doubt in my mind he's just a wee electioneering agent for Trump. Constantly just telling you how great Trump is and how bad the Democrats are. Selectively picking all the negative stuff about the Democrats and all the positive stuff about Trump, or the stories about Trump that paints him as a victim of the mainstream media, deep state Illuminati censorship or whatever. And you'd be a fool to forget that we're on a run up to an election in America, and there's a lot of people out there doing electioneering. Whether they're cognitively aware they're doing it, or whether they're just rhyming and repeating them, what makes them money in their echo chamber, who knows? But there's no doubt this is part of the coordinated internet campaign to get Trump elected. Not building a PC, but Tim Pool. Then we've got all these independent journalists telling you how sleepy Joe Biden is. You know, Joe Biden's just all of a sudden became sleepy. He's just became senile or whatever it is they're claiming or trying to paint him as now. Like that. Now, you remember on the run up to the last election with Trump, the independent media managed to paint Hillary Clinton on death's door because they followed her around, and every time she looked a bit ran down or her drugs wore out or the baby blood got low or whatever, she looked a bit rough. They would take video footage and pictures of it and all that and propagate it. And it's the exact same tactic. Now the victim is Joe Biden. And look, I'm not telling you to vote for Biden or Trump. What I'm pointing at is all these independent sources independently coming to the exact, rhyming and repeating the exact same shit. It's not that independent. I think that's my point. Right, Joe Rogan. Well, Joe Rogan's been making the news because he's moving to Spotify. Anyway, I have the cure. I think it's just some of the shit that's out there about cures for the virus, cures for the AIDS, war on China. Don't need to watch all that, but I don't know if you see this. The war drums are beating heavily for China. Hong Kong's getting the thumbscrews, and Hong Kong are getting turned up again. The US Navy are sailing in towards disputed territories. That's the only way to see it independently. China says it's theirs, and America says it's in international waters. And America's treating it like international waters, and China's saying, look, you're invading our space, you're coming into your house, get out. Who let this yank loose about this Chinaman's house? I think that's what they're saying. So we'll have a wee look at some of the older war rhetoric in and around China, and buy my t-shirt Tommy. We'll have a wee look at some of the infighting goings-ons, so on and so forth, in and around the cult of buy my t-shirt Tommy. The murky troll swamp. Again, it's the same old games from the same old sad sacks. Forgot the name of that now. And it's the same old tactics, you know. Do everything you can to provoke somebody into a reaction, film it, and then go, "I'm gonna give it a bad bath in this." Then all the bunch of fucking sheep in the network, "Oh, look how bad," like all their sock accounts and all that, try and make like a chorus of fucking some sad sack twerking, a few sad sack curtain twitchers. Try and make it appear like there's a big chorus of people joining in and participating, when it's all a pile of shite. Anyway, so we'll dive into the murky troll swamp later on as well. Kill Bill. Again, I'm not telling you not to kill Bill. I'm just asking you, why the hell is everybody out there want to kill Bill? Why does everybody think he's some sort of a uber villain sitting in his lab creating these vaccines and a wee bit of the arsenic in this vaccine and a wee bit of I'll kill all the babies in the world. Oh! I mean, it's just not the reality. It's not my reality. A lot of people, the majority of people in the world who, like, the science behind vaccinations is undisputed. There's no scientist out there that would dispute 100-year plus of known science in and around vaccinations. It's just the most bizarre, craziest thing to try and present. And again, like, don't spin the story. You know, it's not that there hasn't been vaccinations that harm and hurt people. I mean, that's what people who are testing the vaccinations sign. This could kill me. You've got my consent. And there's arguments to be had. The vaccinations that you should and shouldn't have and all that. But just to this one big crazy conspiracy brush. All vaccinations are bad. It's part of a new world order conspiracy. So on and so forth. I mean, I don't believe that to be the reality. And I think anybody who does their due diligence in the whole sort of vaccination thing would find out there's a genuine science there. And when I say science, I mean stuff that anybody around the world with laboratory conditions could then go and replicate. You know, you could make your own vaccinations and like put them into a wee petri dish and watch the vaccination vaccinate. I don't want to get too technical, but that's I know it's very technical. But like to like jump to a conclusion that people like Alex Jones and David Icke on YouTube are implanting in your head, without actually investigating it. It's short-sighted and naive. It's like blindly following the cult leaders, and I don't think that's healthy, because you end up just like disregarding all this kind of known science about vaccinations and all that. And one two about vaccinations and all that, and I would argue just make yourself look silly in any kind of argument, or like sort of just as a human being, like David Icke. You know, he's managed to sweep the shape-shifting lizard thing underneath the carpet. But now he's out there like saying that this virus isn't real. It's bizarro, you know. But anyway, each to their own. US fake. London real. This guy is the David Brent of the truth or conspiracy world, man. I used to think it was Tommy Robinson, you know, like winning, but I now think it's David Brent. I now think it's what's his name, Brian Rose. Hilarious, don't you know? To be sure. You can subscribe and hit the bell to be sure, don't you know? And it'll keep you well, don't you know, if you hit that bell. Ding dong, don't you know? Right. Got the US fake. Then we got the internet corona experts. International nationalists. It's hilarious. YouTube psychosis. Then we've got a wee bit of the BS Trump news and the 5G fear. So let's get on with the bull crap. So let's just go from top to bottom, just the way we like it, top to bottom. Okay.
Friends, adding, others should only take the malaria drug.
Right, I don't want to, there's no need to listen to it, and he says that's not the point I'm making. I'm using him as just one example. I mean, you could go round to the Truth and Industrial Complex, the Coordinated Independent Network. I'm independently working in a network, don't you know? And find many people exactly like Tim Pool. Like, you have to step back and look at the volume of his work and where he's focusing and dragging your attention, and don't fall for the smokescreen he puts out of like some sort of independent reporter. The first time this guy came to my attention was when he took money from Paul Joseph Watson to fly to Sweden to prove the bullshit meme that the alt-right was spreading at the time, that there was no-go Muslim ghettos in Sweden. It was the same time they were trying to say that they existed in London, and they were trying to say they existed in Paris, and it's just not a reality. It's absolute bullcrap. And this guy was instrumental in going there and trying to kind of stage a stunt. What he done is he rocked up in a middle of a scheme, a ghetto, a place of poverty with big cameras and a wee crew and all that. Then he was like filmed himself. The cops then escorted him out in case people stole his stuff. And then he's going, "This is proof of the ghetto no-go zone areas." No, mate, you just don't walk down like fucking with gold bars in your hands in a place of poverty. The people that are impoverished might see your dumb rich ass and go and steal your gold bars. Right? It's a simple optic trick. It's an illusion. He went there. He orchestrated the event. Agent provocateur, if you want to come, call it that. So he took money from Paul Joseph Watson, who was working at Infowars at the time before he had to leave for legal reasons, and turned up in Sweden independently, of course, to independently investigate the claims Paul Joseph Watson made, but he used Paul Joseph Watson's money and put Tim Pool on my channels, and you'll see the stuff that I've done. Now he's out there claiming he's an independent ex-Vice Rupert Murdoch outfit, independent journalist, just independently, always talking about how bad the Democrats are. China and Democrats mock Trump for taking COVID antivirals. So it doesn't take a rocket science to see he's not publicly putting Trump's willy in his mouth, but he's defending him without saying "I love Trump." He's attacking and focusing on all Trump's political enemies independently in the run-up to an election. And I'm sorry, it's just no accident for me. Democrats just got caught rigging. Oh, the Democrats! Now, this is a very common electioneering tactic. You'll see it all the time. One side will accuse the other side of cheating and manipulating the vote, so on and so forth. If you manage to install that into your core voters, you'll have a higher turnout on the day of the election, because they'll believe that they have to turn up and fight and look and make sure that the corruption and the cheating of the election doesn't happen. You know, it's a very simple sales technique to get more boots on the ground in the day of election. And there's Tim Pool doing it, whispering to right-wing Trump fans hey, you better go out and vote, man. The Democrats are going to like rid this election again. Remember they just said it last year, right up until Trump won. They were saying they're rigging the election, they're rigging the election. They rigged the election, but we still won. Aye, mate. That's what. Honestly, that's what they'll say. I'm pretty sure Alex Jones is out there saying they still rigged it, but they couldn't rig it. They're big enough. You're like, my lord. These people have to change their story as things change. Just like join the resistance. Your man's in the White House. Anyway, Tim Pool independently telling you Democrats are strangling small businesses on purpose. Do. This is the guy who's independent. He doesn't support Trump. No. Democrats in full panic mode. Do. Independently telling you the news about everything bad about the Democrats. I mean, it's so transparent, it's laughable that at any one point, and I fell for lots of talking heads like Tim Pool, but I now laugh at myself for being able to fall for that, not seeing the wood for the trees. Anyway, moving on. Right, so again, there's Tim Pool independently telling you how stinky the Democrats are just in the run-up to an election, and here's all these independent journalists, YouTube talking heads. These people would probably consider themselves to be independent journalists, they really would. They can't see that all they're doing is rhyming and repeating the same shit. If you're bouncing around talking about the same conspiracies all the time, the same Democrat bad this, Democrat bad this, Hillary bad that, Biden bad this, then you're helping Trump out in the run-up to an election. And if you don't think Trump manipulates and propagates messages to the conspiracy truther world, then think back to him promising to tell you who'd done JFK, who filmed it, I think he was going to do, who was the real director, who killed JFK, and he was going to tell you who done 9/11. Has he any of that materialised? I would argue no. But anyway, so here's Stex, Hexenhammer. I like to wear leather jackets with no shirt on. Independently telling you, what is it? To defend Biden, the New York Times says believe all women is a right-wing trap. Okay, so here again, if you notice how these people cherry pick stories to fit their worldview. For example, all the allegations and sexual allegations about made Donald Trump being a sex pest. That's just political smearing. We all know it's lies. The women are just doing these stories for money, so on and so forth. The allegations against Biden, oh, they're all true. Let's not even question it. Who is the woman? Who cares? He's a sex pest. So, I mean, it's the same old tactic. And here's independent reporter number 1. Independent reporter number 2, Tim Pool, surprise, surprise, telling you how stinky Biden is. Independent reporter number 3, Secular Talk, telling you how stinky and stupid Biden is. CNN, Biden apologises for saying water ain't black if they support Trump. That was hilarious. There's CNN running interference for Biden. Because that's CNN is Biden's CNN's man, because they're anti-Trump. You need to know this stuff so you know what flavour of crap you're swallowing. Right, stop calling me Quick Pro Joe. There's Ryan Dawson. Now, again, it's... If anybody goes and looks into like sort of the rise and fall of the Roman Empire and the Republic and all that jazz, right? There's a lot. It's interesting history, and one of the things is how the populace was controlled was their version of political cartoons. Remember back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, it was political cartoons that were the most powerful tool to control the populace. Back in Rome, it was political graffiti and just written on the walls. Nowadays, it's memes propagated by independent talking heads on YouTube. Independently yelling NPC. They can't see the irony of a big massive chorus of people saying the same meme about people being robots. They can't see the irony of that. Anyway, onwards. So there's Rye Dawson joining in the chorus. I don't know. Rye Dawson says he likes to vote or participate in politicising or propagandising people in the way of vote for the lesser of two evils. People are welcome to that attitude. It's not one I share. Another Biden gaffe. Come to you from another independent journalist. Joe Biden boils babies. I'm sure he does. Joe laps. So even the atheists are getting in on hating Biden. Secular talk again. Top Democrats, Biden should keep taking big money. So, in the run-up to an election, running a story that, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if they've spanned something in reality here or what have you. Ain't got the time, notion or want to actually scratch beneath the surface of this crap. But what I'm saying is, in the run-up to an election, it suits Trump to link Joe Biden with big money. Linking any politician with big money has a negative impact in the general populace. And that's exactly what this independent journalist is doing. Oh man, here's Steve. Biden apologises. It's just a chorus of crap against Biden. Anywho, right, let's have a wee look at the Joe Rogan saga. He's lit up the internet sphere. Good morning. Good morning to you. What the hell is this? Oh, the Joe Rogan. This is interesting as well because it gets Tim Pool in it. Now remember, Tim Pool is like Joe Rogan. On camera, they'll say, I'm liberal, I'm left. And then they'll tell you, they'll constantly just talk about how senile Biden is. Well, understanding they come from media, they've got an audience, they've got relatively large platforms. Tim Pool, relatively large. Joe Rogan, one of the biggest. And nobody's telling me that these two are so naive, they don't understand the messaging they're putting out in the run-up to an election. And remember, there's a lot of favours to be curried if you had a large platform and you managed to sway some people before an election. In fact, if you were running a political campaign, you wouldn't be doing your job properly if you didn't try and influence the biggest podcast in the world to put out your pro-messaging. Here in the UK, that would get you pulled. That's against Ofcom regulations. People have been punished in the past with putting personal opinions on public broadcasting in the run-up to elections, so on and so forth. James Whale is one of them that rings a bell. But over in the States and all this stuff on the internet, there's no jurisdiction. It's free reign. So there's it's a new game board, people. So there's Joe Rogan calling Tim Pool.
To call back to yesterday, that's Tim Pool's lawyer, you idiot.
Let me see. Where's
during a fucking shitty Nightwave, and I wouldn't pick up.
No.
Right, let me see. Shows you the bit I'm just walking out his own show, I think. Good morning, good morning. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo-doo-doo. Good morning to you. Right, hold on.
Stream, I'd respect it.
Anyway, I'm lying. I'm not. I'll share a link in here. You can go and watch it yourself. But Joe Rogan. Wow. Tony, do you want to know something crazy, mate? I'm getting 2 different avatars for you on different parts of my computer, which is a kind of freaky. Right, but what he's talking about there, so Joe Rogan and Tim Pool, who on the surface say they aren't Trump fans, they don't love Trump, they're liberal, I think they call themselves libertarian leaning. Right, you know what libertarian is? It's code for we're turning you right wing without you knowing it. That's my humble opinion, right? Libertarian is code for shit. How do we make right wing politics cool to the youth? Well, we need guns. We've got guns. We need broads. Have you seen that new press thing Trump's trotted out, man? Woo! I swear to God, I watched the whole press conference today. No, it wasn't a press conference. She was on Fox or something. Just to look at her. With the sound down, I think. Anyway, so... Oh, yeah, fucker. Joint in the box. Joint in the box. So, Joe Rogan phones Tim Pool. So Tim Pool can put out a correction of Alex Jones's WWF take on what he said. And I shared the link if you want to go and watch that thing in its entirety. Right, so what else have we got in here? This is Joe Rogan going over a Spotify. So this isn't about censorship or anything. It's about Spotify trying to take the biggest podcast on board to up its reach. I don't know why people are finding this so complicated. Spotify are a massive company, or they're trying to grow, obviously, and they've censored and kicked people off their platform before in the past. It's not a bastion of freedom of speech where Joe Rogan's now going to be able to just have free reign. You know, he's still going to have some. In fact, he's probably going to have more checks and balances. Because, well, as we all know, he's took a big slice of the money up front. That big slice of money came with a contract, and in that contract were do's and don'ts and ifs and buts and maybes and legal terms, and you know what it's like when lawyers get a hold of something, man. It doesn't really mean anything. It means everything. So, Joe Rogan fucking over to Spotify. Alex Jones has frothed it up. It isn't a war on censorship or anything. He's just taking a big pay cut. He's just taking a big payday. I'm going to war with YouTube. He's not. All his stuff's going to be up on YouTube, and they're going. Spotify are now going to use YouTube as a way of directing traffic to their free-to-air Joe Rogan stuff. I mean, I don't know. Why is everybody have to jump off the sensationalist conspiracy, down the sensationalist conspiracy rabbit hole? And the guy's just like, what would you do if somebody were rocked up and offered you $100 million? Take it. Spotify expo. Oh, let's see. How's this? Dan
Folks,
Dix.
The Joe Rogan podcast let the genie out of the bottle.
Dan. The hobbits want their costume back, Dan.
And now the censoring establishment is desperately trying to figure out how to contain what they see as a potentially ticking time bomb, and Spotify may be the vehicle to help them do it.
Look, Hobbit.
This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news. Joe Rogan has announced he's going to be leaving YouTube to, quote, go to war with the big tech tyranny, and he plans to do so by signing a $100 million exclusive contract with Spotify. It sounds great on the surface, but upon further digging, I've discovered that this may be the biggest bait and switch of all time, and Joe Rogan...
Here's a conspiracy for you. Conspiracy theorist finds a conspiracy in nothing. I mean, what conspiracy? Tell me the conspiracy,
may soon
Dan.
regret making the move.
Oh, he's going to regret it there. I think Dan Dix has cracked the code. They are really deep state Illuminati.
So in this video, I will explain exactly why I think there is another agenda at play here when it comes to controlling the free flow of information online. And today I'm here to explain why Spotify is not the answer. But just before I do, I'd ask that you please support my efforts by visiting pressfortruth.ca/donate. Here you can make a one-time donation with PayPal, you can join as a PFT member or a PFT patron by clicking on this banner, you can send us some Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, or you can use the Patreon alternative and sign up for a monthly reoccurring amount right here.
Oh, you can meet me on the street and just give me a straight-up blowjob.
At Press for
Take payments in many ways.
Truth. So if that is something that interests you, please check the links on the screen or in the description below to find out how you can get involved. Alright, so when I first heard that Joe Rogan is going to be taking on Google and Apple by leaving YouTube and iTunes...
Taking them on? Where did this come from? Alex Jones? And then Joe Rogan had to call Tim Pool and go, Alex Jones is talking shite? But this doesn't stop the echo chamber of bullshit, sensationalise it, and turning it into Joe Rogan fighting censorship when it's nothing of the sort. Does anybody know that all this stuff is going to remain on YouTube up until the end of the year, I believe? Something like that, there's a time frame. Then it's going to get brought down to each show, you're going to get maybe 20, 30 minutes or something, you know, a wee edited segment of each show, which is then going to have all the details down below to try and put traffic over to Spotify. There's no... Oh, he's fighting censorship, but he's sick of YouTube. What a pile of crap.
I thought, great. But the obvious question was, where is he going? Joe Rogan says he is going to war against Google and big tech. Alex Jones exclusively revealed Thursday.
I don't know if these people can actually get the self-awareness to understand, or just all he's doing is rhyming and repeating Alex Jones's pish, which Joe Rogan said didn't happen.
Thursday that Joe Rogan signed an exclusivity contract for his podcast with Spotify as a way of striking back against YouTube censorship. Jones, who has been friends with Rogan for 22 years, spoke at length with the podcast king, with Rogan, telling him that he should announce
the podcast king, Joe Rogan, the podcast king.
That the move is a direct strike against Google, that the gloves are off, and that he is going to war against big tech tyranny. Jones, who has
a load of shit. All fake news. All these people who go, fake news. They're full of shit. This is all pish. He's rhyming and repeating the rants of a lunatic.
On the Joe Rogan Experience numerous times, also announced that Rogan had specifically requested in his contract with Spotify that the Infowars host will be allowed to appear uncensored on the podcast on Spotify. Jones said Rogan wants him as the first guest on the show when it arrives on Spotify on the 1st of September, followed by Elon Musk, who
he kinda, he's not confirmed that
is
either.
Also currently speaking out against big tech censorship and cancel culture. Jones said Rogan told him he is sick of being treated poorly by Google, and the straw that broke the camel's back was that Rogan wanted to interview doctors and experts who have differing opinions on the coronavirus to the officially sanctioned narrative, and was told by YouTube that they would not allow such content on their platform. I've also had 3 of my videos recently taken down from YouTube, all because I talked about the end the lockdown protests that were popping up in Vancouver and all around the world.
No, you were filming yourself out there, licking doorknobs and playing with traffic.
But when I heard that the likes of Joe Rogan was going to migrate to Spotify for similar reasons, I was reminded...
Well, that never happened. This is fabrication. This is just absolute bull crap. Man.
Reminded of this. Last year, 47 nonprofit organizations wrote an open letter to the members of the media. The letter warned them against a discredited left-wing political activist organization that seeks to silence its political opponents with a hate group label of its own invention and application that is not only false and defamatory, but that also endangers the lives of those targeted with it. They, of course, were talking about the Southern Poverty Law Center, who promotes the shutting down of so-called hate speech. This far-left hate group, the SPLC, is funded by banking giants such as JP Morgan and the Bank of America, as well as big pharma like Pfizer. The SPLC also collects $50 million each year, with $4.4 million being sent to offshore accounts. But it's not just conservatives and Christians and libertarians and voluntarists that the SPLC is going after, although they do focus a large amount of their time on our kind. No, it seems that no one is immune to their high level of censorship. In fact, the SPLC even admits that its definition of a hate group is based on opinion and strictly ideological factors. So who else have these authoritarians been eyeing up to ramp up their censoring efforts? Spotify. Spotify announced new hate content.
Spotify! What was Campus Christmas there, wasn't it? Spotify!
Censoring efforts?
Spotify. You tell them, girlfriend. You go there, sister.
Spotify announces new hate content and hateful conduct public policy. Before it got into podcasting...
Hold on, I'm confused. What's this guy's narrative, right? So the stuff that he made up about Joe Rogan going there to beat censorship, which isn't true in the first place, but now he's saying Joe Rogan can't go there to beat censorship, which isn't true in the first place, because Spotify has got hate speech laws and all that. So, like, this is like Jack and Nori time, innit? The whole core of his story is bullcrap. So the rest of it is just like meaningless drivel and tripe wrapped up in a conspiracy. He's creating a conspiracy out of a fake news, like fake news that he's just made up in his head that he's got off of Alex Jones, reliable reporter #1, baby. Anyway, moving on. Joe Rogan tells Alex Jones why he left YouTube.
Like, we're gonna pay you a month or two behind.
Yeah.
And if you fuck up, we're never gonna pay you at all.
Yep.
And that scares people. But when you get your fucking money up front, it really takes a lot of power away from them, because what do? You take the $100 million and you go, okay, but I'm gonna do whatever I want. And if Spotify says, okay, Joe, you're suspended, we're not gonna do your show anymore, they gotta eat that. That's gonna fucking murder their stock. So
they gotta eat that, man. Love the Yanks. So it's just big. Joe Rogan leaves YouTube due to censorship. That's interesting. It's interesting how easy bullshit, how quickly and how easy bullshit propagates. And it's amazing how these people would think, like, go out there and call CNN and BBC fake news. As bad as CNN and BBC is, nothing like this would happen on there. They would actually go and check the story out, see what was said, who was saying it, words out of Joe Rogan's mouth, and not a rant for Alex Jones about what did or did not happen. I mean, this whole hoo-ha in and around Joe Rogan leaving YouTube due to censorship is all based on you trusting Alex Jones to tell you the truth. And I'm sorry, I'm not that crazy. Anyway. Anywho. That was Joe Rogan. So what the hell is this? I have the cure. Right. Now, It's hilarious. I wasn't familiar with this guy until Joe Rogan started telling me about him, and that's where he gets his news from. I'm like, oh yes.
So guess what? Big story.
This is another guy that's on the left, but he just constantly tells you how senile Biden is and how unfair the press are to Trump.
This is from Source Magazine. New Canadian study says marijuana may prevent the coronavirus. God damn it, marijuana. Is there anything you can't do?
Well, some would also say a bullet to the head may prevent coronavirus, you know? If you shoot somebody in the head, they're dead. And that will prevent them ever having to worry about coronavirus at all. You know, it's like... and again, this guy here talks about fake news and how all the mainstream media is fake. And then selectively cherry pick an article from the so-called fake news, the mainstream media, and then talk about it and go, oh, it's all fake. It's all fake, apart from this one, that one, this one, that one, this one. And take all those selectively cherry-picked stories and spin them to fit your worldview. Right. So, I don't know. Go and iodine tablets and weed, that will save you from a virus.
I've worked with doctors, and if you look at the one survey, the only bad survey, they were giving it to people that were in very bad shape. They were very old, almost dead. It was a Trump enemy statement. Now, if you...
It's unbelievable how they've politicised this whole thing. Do you know what's even more horrible and sick about it? The way they're politicising this, everybody's in objective fear. Everybody's crazy over... Most people are crazy over this one way or the other. Whether it's believing it's all fake and it's a New World Order takeover, or whether it's believing that there's a virus out there that's the possibility to run through the population. How many is it? 300,000? Or is it 500,000 dead now? Can't remember. Stop counting. It's no fun when you run out of fingers and toes, you know? It was all fun and games, counting the dead at first. After a couple 100,000, you're like, a bit of a morbid game. Let's keep counting. But how it's getting politicised, I mean, you can't get a straight story, so you don't know who to trust or what to trust. Everybody, which puts which puts a lot of people in a position of doubt. And I think it's disgusting, politicians worldwide using this as a political football, and using people's fear to carry us one way or another. I have the cure, a war on China. If you stay in China, that's all. Move out, Mr. Miyagi, that's all I'm going to say. Well, I think he was Japanese. Was he Chinese or Japanese? I don't know. Where did Mr. Miyagi come from? I'm sure he was American, actually. But the funny thing is, this is a struggle for this area. I believe this is part of the struggle for this area, the territory that's been going on for some time. Since the East India Company first acquired this area of land and leased it, got it on a 99-year lease as part of a settlement or whatnot. Then it got brought back into Chinese hands from the British in 1997, I believe. So what, 23 years or whatnot? 22, 23 years. And in those 22, 23 years, there's been a transition in Hong Kong, and it's to move it from, it's initially as part of the agreement to move it back into Chinese ownership, was it's had to remain autonomous. What that means is it would have certain institutions which would remain independent from mainland China, right? And I think it'd be like the jurisdiction and the I'd be lying if I said I knew they understood the structure inside Hong Kong, but I'm going to argue there's some sort of a parliament and separation of power because it was set up but by the British entities, so it would be along that kind of model. So I believe at 97 when it got signed over into China hands, the Brits didn't just go, right, okay, woohoo, see you later, Mr. Chin. Taking it on the chin, Mr. Chin, Wierovsky. I believe they left their people in the institutions that were like loyal more to the Brits than China. So the institutions were trying to get kept within the influence of Britain, that's what I would say. And right up to this day, I think that's the struggle that's happening right now. But when it's getting talked about in the Western press, it gets dressed up as communism versus democracy. And I suppose you can say that's the shirts or the two teams that are fighting each other here. But I think they're just labels used to mobilise the masses. It's more just the struggle that's going on right now between the West and China. And it's happening in many fronts. Here, the South China Sea, Sikkim, there was skirmishes, the whole WHO thing and the coronavirus thing and the reparations they're talking about after this all dies down. So let's have a wee look at some of the other news coming out from Hong Kong. No surrender. Sound familiar? No surrender. Maybe Jim Dawson wrote that headline, eh? Secret control exposed.
Troubling scenes in northeastern China have many concerned about a second virus outbreak in one high-risk.
Scenes in China concerns outbreak. You know, this is the biggest fear mongering excuse for news I've ever came across.
Area residents are not even allowed outside.
I thought it was an episode of the X-Files when I first turned it on, with the eerie music.
A 20-year-old student from Australia shows the world how the Chinese regime tries to control overseas universities. A whistleblower is calling for an investigation
Chinese man calls China stinky.
Into the UN. She accuses the UN of a practice that puts people's lives in danger.
UN, China's bitch.
Some of their family members were arrested, arbitrarily detained, tortured, and in some cases even died in detention.
Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen sworn in for her second and final term today. She said Taiwan couldn't accept becoming part of China under its one country, two systems offer.
Oh man, China in focus. I mean, see what's happening now? It makes sense as to why in the YouTube sphere you find all these English-speaking channels that just concentrate on telling the English audience, the English-speaking audience, how stinky China is. It's like, I don't know, just when I see a YouTube channel like that, I'm like, right, it's like a newspaper, right? You look who owns it, and whatever group or trust or whatever. Then you find out the people in their kind of politics and their editorial stance, and then the stuff the newspaper pumps out makes a lot more sense. It's the same with these kind of YouTube channels. Who funds a kind of channel like this? It doesn't make sense. You know, this isn't grassroots YouTube. This is a professional Infowars outlet. English, just like Russia Today. Anyway, let's have a look at some more of these outlets. There's Newsnight, I think. Newsnight. It is time for the UK to stand up to China. Yes, it is, folks. The UK going to batter China. Who rejects Taiwan? Now, again, like, go and look into the history and the argument in and around the territory of Hong Kong. Go and look at the history of the argument in and around Taiwan. Try and be objective and get away from all this messaging that China stinks and they're just big bad commies and all that, which may be true, I don't know, I've never stayed there. But and look at these arguments individually and objectively, and you'll see it isn't as clear cut as a lot of these independent news organisations are painting out, i.e. China stinks and they're horrible and they're being aggressive.
The World Health Organization excluded Taiwan from their World Health Assembly.
Yeah, because some people say Taiwan is a conquered territory by Western-backed entities that try to take over China. I don't even think that's disputed.
Again.
AKA America and the West's Chinese bitches.
How far has China's influence reached? The answer might surprise you. Welcome back to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. This week, the World Health Organization held an online meeting of member nations. It's called the World Health Assembly, and the main topic was...
So, again, ask, what's this YouTube channel doing? Why is it a professional-looking, produced outfit? What would they call themselves? Independent journalists? Independently? This Western dude independently is interested in what's happening in China? Don't know, did like China take your foreskin or something for you when you were younger? Why? Doesn't make sense. Unless it's just a propaganda outfit put out there in the YouTube sphere to get that China stinks message out just as we wrap up, just as the war drums keep beating towards China. Here's this guy who started the bull crap lies about the market lab, the lab next to the wet market, 200 or 300 yards, which it wasn't. It was a lie. That was a deliberate spin on stuff. This guy deliberately mistranslated and misconstrued a lot of stories from the Chinese internet, which we all know is monitored and censored and controlled, but somehow, some way, this wee bit that he read was telling us the truth this time. And then this guy parroted it on the YouTube sphere, and next thing you know, Donald Trump himself is standing up in the world stage and saying what he's witnessed with this guy was evidence. So, whoever's controlling this guy is in the same time as Donald Trump. And this guy was deliberately putting out, in my humble opinion, deliberately putting out stuff that Donald Trump can turn around and say is evidence with plausible deniability, because, oh, hey, look, I've seen a YouTube video and it looked real to me. Well, they didn't investigate this guy, didn't look at the translations. Anybody who actually scratches beneath the surface of this and investigates where the information's coming from and the real sources would find that that's bullcrap. Instead of living in this fake matrix world where YouTube talking heads create your reality and the narrative. Z returns, China Communist Party back in business, baby. Now, ITN, I've noticed recently that ODN is ITN here in the UK. They're definitely on the Trump train, the anti-China Trump train. Reuters, China to impose... oh! They just attacked me with SARS. No. COVID. Corona. Whatever it is. The fake virus. China to impose controversial security laws in Hong Kong. Fooey. Video's private. Something about Hong Kong. The Sun. Rupert Murdoch. China's COVID Cold War with Australia explained. So, now talking about a new Cold War. A new Cold War. Hong Kong in danger, baby. And remember, why wouldn't you trust an American-sounding guy who obsesses about Chinese news and speaks in an English language but claims to have the Chinese people's best interests at heart? I don't know about you. If I wanted to, if I had the Chinese people's best interests at heart and I wanted to awaken the Chinese people against their tyrannical communist government and all that, I would speak in Chinese. You might have a better chance of reaching the billion of them. It's a bit stinky when somebody speaking in English just constantly telling you how stinky China is. Or is it? You know, it's like a guy in a Rangers top just constantly telling you how shit Celtic is. It may be true, but he's got an agenda. expelled for criticising China. Oh my God. What, so they didn't chop him up and chop his head off and disappear him, put him in the gulag? Did not start. This was the channel that was talking about, I'm sure it was this channel, talking about people operating in people's brains when they were still alive and taking out organs when they were still alive and live harvesting of organs for live bodies and stuff. Anywho, so again, what's there not to trust about China Uncensored? The Guardian. Hong Kong Fooey. Tear gas in Hong Kong. ODN, ITN. Reuters. Hong Kong braces for more protests. Fight for democracy goes on. China uncovered. How China manipulates the media. This is hilarious.
What did they say? They said that the Chinese regime itself.
Be sure to.
So, this is where you can tell if somebody's being objective, you know. This guy is standing in a glass house and he starts throwing stones. So, all the allegations he alleges against China, as true as they may be, it's the same way you, like, I can see through the Truth and Industrial Complex, apply the same rules to them as they are implanting in your head to apply to the TV. So the way that they want you to analyse and pull apart and unspin the information you get from the mainstream media, do it to them and you'll see they're more sad and more pathetic than the propaganda you'll get on the TV and elsewhere. Now, same rules apply. Same rules apply. Right, let's have a wee listen to this guy. And, like, I don't know, people who don't understand what I'm saying here, they'll need to explain this away as like I'm some sort of a Chinese communist plant or something, you know? James Goddard wouldn't be able to understand what I'm saying here. It would just, communist, communist. I couldn't understand the point I'm making, but other people can.
Subscribe. And check back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday for new episodes.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We found out YouTube is not sending out notifications to all subscribers.
Oh.
And actually,
Deep State Illuminati.
Unsubscribing people from the show.
I would argue against that. It appears that you're unsubscribed, but it's a common glitch in... I don't know. Some would argue it's a common glitch in YouTube that happens a lot when they change their interface. Some would say it's the Deep State Illuminati. Some would say it's a glitch. Each to their own.
So, yeah.
I got a feeling. Check back
So
frequently,
you might
man.
be wondering how 2020 became the year of cowering in your homes while fighting your neighbors for toilet paper. Well, the answer is the Chinese Communist Party.
Yay! Blame China.
It's been very well documented that they knew about the coronavirus early and covered it up.
Okay, so the stuff they're going to point at China for being shameless propaganda, they're actually doing more shamelessly right now themselves. Let's analyse this.
They hoarded medical supplies and got the World Health Organization to downplay how serious the disease was. That's why I call the coronavirus the CCP virus.
That's why he calls it the CCP virus. Just like Trump, coincidentally. Just like Trump. You know? All these independent YouTubers with millions of subscribers just independently talking about China with an English accent. Now rhyming and repeating Donald Trump's memes.
Put the blame where the blame is due, right? Well, the Chinese Communist Party is the master of propaganda. They're spinning a false narrative that they actually saved the world. And they've gotten a lot of Western media to buy into the lies. Joining me today is Joshua Phillip, senior investigative reporter at Epoch Times and host of the TV show Crossroads. Thanks for joining me, Josh.
A CIA agent.
It's a real pleasure, Chris.
Yeah, just another independent reporter going to turn up and tell you how stinky China is and how it's all their fault.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So, How has the Chinese Communist Party's propaganda narrative changed over the course of the coronavirus?
Let's see how they analyse the Chinese Communist Party's propaganda narrative. And then let's see if these guys are propagating Donald Trump's propaganda narrative.
The Chinese regime has gone through several different phases of its propaganda push. Of course, it started off by saying there's no problem in China. We have the whole thing under control. There's no...
Donald Trump. No problem. Got it under control. We've meet the peak. We're all good. Reopen. All gravy, baby. Have they still got the most deaths in the world? At one point when he was saying that, they had the most deaths in the world. Saying that they dealt with it better than China. Right? So, the Donald Trump narrative has done exactly what these people are pointing out China done.
No human-to-human transmission. Nothing to be concerned about. If you put travel bans on China, you're racist. If you try to say that we're not handling it well, you're spreading misinformation and causing panic.
Donald Trump is racist for putting a travel ban on before we shut the place down. So there's again the exact Donald Trump narrative.
Panic. Then, of course, it turned out that they were censoring people who tried warning the rest of the world about it. The fact that they did that turned into a scandal.
Ask doctors and nurses in this country. If they speak out on social media, they're getting into trouble, and it could cost them their career. So some would say whatever's happening in this country is getting censored by the same, by the state as well. So again, same rules apply. What's good for one is good for the other. Remain objective at all times. Don't suspend disbelief.
And so when the scandal came out, when it started spreading around the world, they changed their narrative.
Oh, they changed it.
And what did they say? They said that the Chinese regime itself was not responsible for it. The virus came from America.
Oh, the scumbags calling it the American, tried to call it American virus, the cunts. As they're calling it the Chinese virus. Oh, dirty, that's well propaganda. Imagine calling a virus that started a global pandemic, name it after a country to try and demonise them in the eyes of the world when there's a trade and currency war going on between the West and China. Imagine that. Huh? Imagine that. Scumbags.
Not from China. They shifted the blame, right? And they said that...
just like Donald Trump, he shifts the blame on how bad he managed his country's response to this to China by calling it the Chinese virus. So I just want to invest in a mirror for these people.
They started calling it the USA virus. They came up with this propaganda narrative saying that maybe the American military brought it to China during the October 2019 war games in Wuhan.
We just spoke about that guy on YouTube who made up bullcrap wrongly interpreted from the Chinese internet, which we all know is lies anyway, which then Donald Trump used as evidence of it coming from a biological lab in Wuhan, when the experts know that that's a load of crap, or the experts don't agree that it's got any basis in reality. In fact, if you forensically investigate that claim, it falls apart because it relies on a YouTube guy who lied about an unconfirmed fucking page on the Chinese internet. And relax. So, what's good for one is good for the other.
Right? And then they called it the USA virus. Then they said, oh, it came from Italy.
They called it the China virus.
Italian virus. Now
they said it came from the Wuhan lab.
They're saying it's the French virus from France.
You can't get your French fries because of the virus.
Then they shifted the propaganda narrative again.
Then they shifted it, changing it again.
And they started saying that what we need is, international harmony. We need cooperation. We need U.S.-China cooperation. And they played up this whole harmonious, we are the world.
Scumbags wanted to work together to try and stop an outbreak of a pandemic. Scumbags!
Narrative. And now they're shifting it again, now that different countries are calling for investigations into the Chinese regime and its handling of the virus, into the WHO for its ties to the Chinese regime, and also into the origin of the virus. It's not just the US calling for this, but a lot of countries, including most of Europe right now, Australia, of course, the US and others. And so it has been changing the narrative when it comes to this disinformation and propaganda campaign, basically going by what the rest of the world is saying. And it does appear that they're losing this battle on many fronts. And of course, when we say propaganda, misinformation, and disinformation are, of course, different. And the CCP is using a blend of all of these.
Well, I know another big...
Right, so again, what's good, what they're, the shameless propaganda they're putting out, coming out for China. But just this... Well, it's deliberate, you know, it's not an accident. These aren't like a wee guy sitting in the basement and it's fucking bought into the Truth Industrial Complex just rhyming and repeating shit. These people know what they're doing. This is cleverly crafted information warfare bombs. But anyway, there we go. Hong Kong fears the worst. Oh, let's see, this is sensationalist.
China is pushing for a new national security law in Hong Kong.
If I speak in English with a Chinese accent, it makes it sound more authentic, like I'm a Chinaman reporting on China.
Many worry this is Beijing's attempt to quell
Probably as Chinese as the McRib.
democracy protest, and that it will bring an end to the semi-autonomous city's freedom.
This is the end of Hong Kong. This is the end of one country, two systems. Make no mistake about it.
Well, China's getting its territory back. I got stole after them years ago. We an opium war or two.
In an unprecedented move, Beijing is pushing the law.
Imagine you stayed in that neck of the woods and you were a Chinaman who lived forever, because Chinamen live forever apparently. And that's only about 2 or 3 generations. Maybe like 3, 4 or 5, right, whatever. But that's still kind of fresh in memories, let's say. The fact that they tried to kill a whole fucking country by riddling it with opium and turning them all into junkies. You know, maybe the Chinamen are still a wee bit sore about that shit. Damn commies.
While bypassing Hong Kong's own legislature. Chinese state media reported that Beijing would accelerate processing the legislation. It could be signed into law in the coming weeks. The law bans activities including sedition, secession, and subversion, but charges like these are already used by Beijing to persecute pro-democracy dissidents, human rights lawyers, Uyghur Muslims, and religious minorities in mainland China. The leader of
China stinks. China stinks. Oops. They're probably still building a PC. That was the war on China. Let's have a wee look at Buy My T-Shirt Tommy. Buy my T-shirt, buy my T-shirt, buy my T-shirt Tommy Robinson. Buy my T-shirt Tommy Robinson. Buy my T-shirt. Practicing my Chinese accent when China wins the war and we all need to speak Chinese. So Paul Golden was in court and get let off with the least possible amount of action that they could possibly do to him. By the word of the law, he was guilty. There was no debating that. So it was just how severe the judge, I think it is, down there. The judge was going to beat him. And in this interview, it's so funny. He talks about being a precedent, or precedent, as me and Sturgeon pronounce it. Right? I'm not going to start that debate. Go and listen to Sturgeon saying precedent, and she says precedent, and Scotland rules the world. Who am I to argue with dictator Sturgeon, you know? If you argue with Sturgeon, she sends the men round in the white coats and... If you live up here, you'll soon learn. You don't mess with the skinheads. You don't mess with Sturgeon. Don't mess with Sturgeon. God. Like, if there's people being fan dance in the chat, just fuck them. These people are enjoying the drama, but if you're not, just boot them. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, right, so what was I saying there, right? So, aye. So he contradicts himself, saying that what's happening to him was illegal precedent, which it wasn't, because people have been charged under this legislation before. The only difference was he was a white dude. Because his argument was somebody that isn't a terrorist has been charged with this ever before. Well, people that weren't charged with this before weren't considered terrorists until they get charged under the terrorism laws. And well, Tommy Robinson, Jim Dawson, Paul Golden, Nick Griffin, all in the BNP at the same time. My argument is they're all still members of, let's say, the Knights Templar, Secret Knights, all brothers for another mother behind the scenes, and they're coordinating their efforts on attempt to win power, and they coordinate their efforts in a way to create different groups that appeal to different demographics, and that's why you'll see them disagreeing on lots of things, like how Nazi they want to be and whether they're like gays, straights and Jews, but underneath the surface they're paddling in the same direction. That's my argument.
I'm about to meet with Paul Golding, and the reason I am is because he's in court tomorrow. He's in court.
Remember, he's censored from YouTube and the internet. Watching Tommy Robinson on his own channel, on YouTube, on the internet, but he's censored from the internet, folks.
On a terrorism charge. He faces prison. He could be locked up and forever labelled a terrorist for something as simple as refusing to give the police his passcodes for his computers and his phones. And I believe this is a very important case for patriots across the country. So I'm going to cover it.
No, it's because you're part of the same collective and your jobs are to direct attention onto each other's PR stunts and campaigns.
I still smile seeing that you're alive. So, I have never seen a police officer look so uncomfortable. I've just had the most enjoyable 3 hours of my present lockdown.
Come on and do the conga.
Being a terrorist, yeah? You're preparing in the acts of terrorism. Then they read his interview, and they went through his interview and the questions they asked him. They didn't ask him one question about anything to do with criminality, anything to do with terrorism. Every question they asked him was about his politics. Every question. So they asked him, it was all about the political party he'd met in Russia, political party, elected officials. They've got 40 MPs, second largest party in...
Is Tommy naive? There's political parties in foreign countries that would love to set up terrorist units inside Britain to bring it down for their own political gain. Is Tommy Robinson and Paul Golden that backward and retarded? I don't think so. They're just spinning you a line. Anyway, that's enough buying my t-shirt, Tommy, and that one.
So, Paul Golden.
English patriots, rule Britannia. Oh no, hold on, it's a fucking Russian flag. My God. International nationalists. They'll fly any flag, just whatever flags, gain them money. Love my country so much, they'll take money for anywhere that parrots the same shite as us. So if they aren't loyal to their country, which they proclaim to be, and that's their whole shtick, what are they loyal to? All these different national groups, like for different countries that coordinate. What's it about if it isn't nationalism? If it was real nationalism, they wouldn't coordinate with other nationalists around the world. So if it isn't about nationalism and just want to run your own country for the benefit of your people and fuck everybody else, what Is it? Now, if you look at the top of the right wing in the UK, it's fundamental Christianity that talks about Christendom and our people, meaning white Europeans. White supremacists. Fascists.
I'd say, watching that, Paul Golding has been found guilty of obstructing the police.
Well, I've been found guilty of this offence.
Found guilty of Schedule 7, but the judge gave him a 9-month conditional discharge, which means if he doesn't do anything in the next 9 months wrong, it's wiped off of his record. Would you say that's her way of... She's not going to give you a not guilty. She wasn't. I said that you...
Listen, I'll explain it this way, right? From the moment I said no in the interrogation, I was automatically guilty.
Yeah.
As far as the law, as far as the letter of the law, I was guilty from that point onwards. But what has happened here is essentially, if I behave for 9 months, I've basically found a way of getting a not guilty.
When you get a conditional discharge, it is letting you off. It's saying, okay, you've done nothing wrong, basically.
Basically, yeah.
You've not got a fine. You haven't got a fine.
No, she didn't even fine me.
No fine.
She fined Rabbani. Yeah. She fined the director of Cage. She fined him.
This is the Muslim guy that get charged under the same legislation as Paul Golding, but Paul Golding said that this was a legal precedent getting set when it wasn't.
And what did you think? What did you think? Oh, hold on. What did you think of her comments at the end, where she said the reason why they? So at the end, when she was talking to you about being guilty, she said the reason they stop people is to keep us all safe. Yeah. But in this circumstance, so she made a comment I found that was questioning why they stopped you anyway.
You have to put it in
Hey, I'm going to make a cup of tea.
Perspective, don't you? All the time. And if they really wanted to keep us all safe, they would round up the 23,000 known Islamic jihadi wannabes on the streets. They would stop all the ISIS fighters returning. That's what they would do if they genuinely wanted to keep us safe. This is not keeping the country safe. This bullshit. This is who's safer? Because I've been hauled over the coals and dragged through the gutter by the police.
So you've been charged. Yes. You got charged and they prosecuted you, and they had enough. They wanted to do that, but many ISIS fighters have come home, don't get charged at all.
They don't even get stopped at the airport like I was. If you're these guys and you're at an airport and you think, right, we got to pounce on this Schedule 7 powers terrorism act, we've got to use them against terrorists to keep the country safe. So here's a guy, Abdul Mohammed, come back from Syria, fighting for ISIS. Let's stop him. Let's take his devices. Let's take his Apple iPhone off him and his Samsung Galaxy and all that. Let's do it, but they don't. They let him go walking straight through. And here comes Paul Golding. Let's throw everything but the kitchen sink at him. It's ludicrous. They don't want to keep us safe. They're not interested. What they're interested in is trying to persecute people like us, patriotic activists who put their head above the parapet and speak the truth.
So it is still what it still says to people, to every one of you, is if you go through an airport, they said, I watched them say on oath, no, we had no suspicion of him being involved in terrorism. No, we had no grounds to believe. We had no belief at all. Nothing. We know it's bullshit. Basically, that's what he stood on the dock and said. But we don't give a shit. We can use this legislation to pull you in, to go through your stuff. So don't bring your phone through the airport. Basically, you can't.
No laptops.
No phones.
If I suggest any patriots out there, if you go to Lanzarote, Tenerife, Cyprus, anywhere at all, before you go into an airport, just leave your phone at home and get a cheap £5, £10 phone, put your SIM into it and just take that. Because then if you do get pulled for no bloody reason whatsoever, you can say, yeah, go on, have that. Because that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. And I'm pretty, I think you'll do it and I think everyone else will do it as well. We can't take...
Do you know, all I could think, watching this today and seeing the hundreds of police officers absolutely everywhere you look, there's meat wagons all around all the stroads, is what a waste of time. What a total load of bullshit. What a waste of time. What's all that about? Anyway, where are you going to go to celebrate? No, you ain't in jail.
I'm just going to go home and I'm going to plot and plan and scheme activities, campaigns, everything.
Moscow?
I'm going to get back to work. And just at the earliest opportunity, I am back.
What are we doing today, brains? Let's go back to our cage, Pinky, and plot and plan about how us and our far-right fascists are going to take over the world. Pinky and the Brain. Pinky and... I forget the fucking song for that.
To Moscow at the earliest opportunity.
No surrender. So, on that note, I'm going to go get Chicken George. On that note, to anyone, you do have to question that. Everyone, Everyone should be questioning that, yeah? How? And the judge sat and watched it, and I think I gauge it that was her letting him off. That was her letting him off. Basically, conditional discharge, go home. I know, she knows it's bull.
It's making sure that the guy doesn't fucking... Like, these people love nothing more than getting time shoved up their arse because they can go, oh, I'm getting persecuted for the state. It's a good wee poor me story. Get some lots of support and whatnot.
No surrender to fascist police bullying!
No surrender, ring a bell.
I'm in court because...
The Hong Kong people were saying no surrender, ring a bell.
I'm being prosecuted under the Terrorism Act, and all I did wrong, all I did was refuse to give the PIN codes for my laptop, hard drive and phone to the police upon request. Because at the end of the day, my heart...
See, not too long ago, was there not a thing about the American cops getting Apple to hand over its encryption or something? And the FBI or whatnot, I'm sure it was the FBI, managed to break Apple's encryption? So I'd imagine they would share that with the British intelligence. And I'm pretty sure it was Apple stuff that he rocked. I don't know, it doesn't... I don't know, I'm no technical minded, so I don't know how that stuff works. Just more questions than answered. I'm just surprised that the creme de la creme of the British intelligence can't get what they want off of people's phones and laptops in the airport without a PIN code.
Hard drive has got membership lists, email lists. I've got to keep all of that safe from everyone. As a duty of care I have under the Data Protection Act, the GDPR, I'm a registered data handler with the ICO. So
he's a registered sex offender, is that what you said?
I've got certain obligations not to let anyone go through the membership lists and email lists and so on. But obviously the state is very keen to get their hands on that.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm the first non-criminal, non-terrorist to be prosecuted under terrorism laws.
I wish Brian Rose was as moralistically protective over all the data he has in his army.
So, just, you know, let that sink in for a moment.
No, he's in court today, someone is.
I mean, this is the modern day version of political what's it called? Canned camera? I forgot the name yet. Candid camera, the thing in the States, the original kind of hidden camera show, you know. Now everybody's got a camera in their hand, so they provoke situations and stick a camera in cops' faces and provoke them into acting like an arsehole and go, look at the cops acting like an arsehole. That's a good segue into the murky troll swamp. And it looks like James Goddard is a fully paid up member of the Knights Templar, and he's went and done a wee bit of media training, and he's relaunching, trying to present himself as a wee bit more of a professional independent reporter. But again, same folks, same circles, spouting the same shit from the same political entities. Jolene Button, I don't know if you know who she is. She's hardly independent. And James Goddard would he call himself an independent reporter? Oh no, he's an activist, I think.
There was a rapid response from emergency services.
I'm back, did you miss me? Jim Dawson doesn't care what he's arguing about, as long as you're over arguing about right-wing policies. And that's what's happening. There's an argument between right-wing, whether you're inclusive enough with the LGBT stuff, and religious enough, and love or hate Israel enough. But Jim Dawson doesn't care, as long as you're all over there voting for the right-wing politics of the day and keeping everybody's attention focused on the right-wing talking points.
I'll be going now. I'm just going to... Hello. Just wait for a few people to log on. Now, I'm talking to myself.
Uh-oh.
0 people. This isn't like the Facebook days. All right, lads. So, I'm at the services, eating as usual.
Uh-oh.
Now, when you're pulling in to get your petrol, there's a multi-faith room.
Scumbags. Imagine having that.
Wait there, let me have a look. Hold on. Okay, but hold on. Where's the Bible? So there's a multi-faith room. You've got a prayer mat here.
Tommy, I'm an atheist Robinson, complaining that he can't get a Bible with his Big Mac. Anyway, right, that was a buy a my t-shirt, Tommy. Right, let's go into the murky troll swamp update, and I'll give Brian Hurrell a shout as well. Tony, mate, if there's arseholes in the chat, just boot them out, mate. Don't let people in there poke you with a stick, man. Knock them out. Right, what the fuck is this? Oh, a murky troll swamp. What's this? Oh, that's right. I remember now. OG1 Kenobi, who now likes to go around and browbeating people for believing in batshit crazy conspiracies. Back in his early day, this is why it doesn't ring true. They've got no empathy or sympathy for people who are ball deep in a rabbit hole, regardless of what that rabbit hole is. Because back in the day, hold on, is this it here as well? Aye, this is just the. Apparently this is an old friend of his that he used to hang about with when he believed in Pizzagate and all that, you know? So, him to believe in batshit fucking crazy, or some people would believe to be batshit crazy conspiracies back in the day, okay. But other people to believe it in batshit crazy, some people would perceive it to be batshit crazy conspiracies just now, not okay. And then goes around and calls people hypocrites. While trying to orchestrate him and his whole wee troll network to destroy people online. You take that down, you do this, you hop on one leg, you speak to him, you show me this, you tell me this, you prove this. Who the fuck do these people think they are? Thinking that they're gaslighting people to think that they have to answer these people's questions. And they're Fruit Loop nobodies on YouTube. And you hear it all the time. You know, if you orchestrate enough whispering campaigns suggesting, like Brian Harvey and his dog's a good one. You know, you'll still see Brian Harvey answering fucking allegations that he's not looking after his dogs or whatever. If he's not looking after his fucking dogs, report him with the RSPCA. They'll go and check out and fucking, you know, like, it doesn't make sense. Just like this guy now going round and browbeating people for, at the moment, being where he was 2 or 3 years ago, believing in Pizzagate.
I don't know where I'm going with this guy.
So, this is what's a mirror image, because you can tell he's escaping eyebrow. So, this is him wanting to go and get in a helicopter and bust down Podesta's door and get him into jail and batter Podesta because he's a big bad Pizzagate paedophile, which some would argue was an amazing electioneering propaganda tool by the Trump administration, or the Trump camp, let's say, which drip-fed into the consciousness of a lot of people that the whole Democratic Party were a big bunch of paedophiles. Hillary Clinton was a corpse walking, and the rest of them were a big bunch of paedophiles. And how did they achieve this? By rumour, conjecture on the walls of Rome. Or the modern day version by memes, rumour and bullshit spread around the internet. And it was very successful, wasn't it? So again, it doesn't really ring true, a lot of this, where a lot of these people are coming from. It doesn't make sense. There's no... They're not coming from a place. They're not coming from a place of morals. Their morals and moral condemnation of people are all over the place. You can't be a junkie and then go, oh, you're a fucking junkie. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It means that there's something else going on there. And what's happening now is they've ran out of places to exist. So Crossman operates typically doesn't have any mods and all that jazz, which is unfortunate because that's exactly what they love. You know, and they'll go in there with all their numerous accounts and try and create the illusions and an appearance of like what they say and the shit that they're saying is real because hundreds of people are agreeing with it. And, oh yeah. When it's just like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people creating an illusion of an echo chamber. And unfortunately now Crossman's getting dragged into it. They've managed to turn Crossman and Pies Igo in on each other with 10 ton of fucking he says that I says that you says that she says that I says that he says that you says, right? And for my little understanding of this, I think Crossman and Pies Igo were pals and they were being friends, although it looked like they were kind of getting orchestrated to then team up against Brian Harvey, but hey ho. And it's an example of like you know, a wise man knows he doesn't know everything, right? Wise people on YouTube understand that they're capable of some of their conclusions, some of the things that they think are real aren't. You know, sometimes your head does fill in the blanks and you get a wrong picture. Like Pies Igo right now, he's fucking convinced people are hacking him IP addresses. Everybody's gaslighting them with a live stream that I deleted. It's an easy fucking tactic. There's something that's deleted. Tell them it's on it and there's no way of checking. But anyway. So, Crossman and Pies Igo are now getting dragged in with all these cretins and it's all the same folk. Oh yeah, that's just Pies Igo getting dragged in again. Can't remember what that was. Here's just one of these other channels 2 months ago trying to gaslight Pies Igo in and around Brian Harvey and all that. And it's the same flow destroyer. I'll speak to Brian Harvey in a wee second as well because he's now getting the thumbs. They're trying to turn the thumb screws up on him and trigger him left, right and centre. Unfortunately. So, again, like Tim Pool, like Joe Rogan, all independently just going after and talking about the same shit, rhyming and repeating it, ingraining it in your consciousness. It's the exact same tactic that all these people use under 10 million sock accounts. Fucking, oh, look how clever we are. We can go in and thumbs down people's videos. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's an education. So let's see what else we've got here. Right, how creepy and crazy is this? I'll be watching you every breath you make. A creepy woman on YouTube is there to screenshot they will take. I'm a creepy cunt, stalking people on YouTube. Every fart you've taked. And in the elevator I'm going to expose. I'm sure you picked your nose. I'm going to expose that you picked your fucking nose. I mean, it's fucking insane. I don't know if these people are for real or this is just the fucking lunatics that took over the asylum. I mean, that's just some barrel. That's like fucking. That's American Psycho-esque creepy shit, man. But that's what these people do, and that's what they encourage people to do and stuff, you know, all this part of psychological attacks on people, trying to bully and coerce people into saying and doing and speaking about whatever they can and they do and do not decide is good and bad. Right, so again, now what's happening with this Brian Hurrell guy, it's the exact same MO, right? So they go round and start fucking it's just a big smear and slander campaign, right? Then they find out as much information they can about him, gaslight him like a motherfucker. Like right now, they're phoning him up and threatening his wife and stuff, and they do that. That's their MO. Death threats, harassing you on your phone, harassing you anywhere you can, phoning your work. That's just what they do. But when you start getting near their names and their numbers, and Brian, I'll speak to you later, mate, and give me some more details on some of the folk that are doing this to you, and then they record or witness this stuff, cut it out of context and go, look how bad this man is. Typically they'll get a big fat fucking menopausal woman to do it, because then if you react against a woman, they'll go, look, he's been violent against women. You're like, this woman's orchestrating death fucking threats against my family and threatening me in my house. I don't care if you have a fucking penis, vagina or mangina. Like, people are going to fucking react when they're getting threatened in their house, and people are threatening their family members, and they're getting constant harassment. Right? So if you're a weak-willed fucking wingnut on YouTube, and you want to believe just fucking small-minded conjecture and bits of fucking comments took out of fucking context, here's a headline for you. Man uses PI... was it 10 or 20 grand? 10 or 20 grand for a private investigator to find out anonymous bullies who are threatening his wife online. That's as controversial as, whoa, pop star does drugs and slept with women while he was a pop star. Man uses money he has to find out who the anonymous fuckers are that are bullying, harassing and death threatening him and his family members in his house. I don't know. Where's the headline? And they'll use this bullshit to try and create some optical illusion, because it's all fake accounts, fake comments. That's why they love fucking streams where people don't use moderators, because they can go in there and try and dominate. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. What I see. I was playing catchphrase and stunned there. It was great fun. But I'm saying what I see. And what I see is a man getting targeted, threatened in his house. His wife's getting fucking threatened. He's getting bullied and harassed in every avenue they possibly fucking can. And now he's willing to use money he has to legally obtain the services of a private investigator to find out who these people are, so these people can deal with the consequences of their actions in real life. So kudos to you, Brian. Shine a light on these fandans and don't answer their fucking questions about you being a bad man for what you're doing. What is it you're doing that's bad? Using your money to fucking find out who's fucking threatening your wife? I can't see any badness in that myself. And any idiot out there, mate, that's bombarding you and making you question if you're a good guy and all that, it's just gaslighting, mate. You do not need... Nobody on YouTube has to answer allegations from any Fruit Loop out there. Because if you do, Fruit Loops will just keep you occupied by making you answer fucking stupid fucking questions just pulled out their arse for fucking shits and giggles. If that. So... And it's all about Brian Harvey. Now they're apparently, what was it, the Wendy Woo's getting Tommy Robinson or something. They're now trying to mobilise the right wing against them. It's hilarious, mate. They go around all these camps. They sit in Antifa chat rooms. They sit in left-wing chat rooms. They sit in right-wing ones and just fucking troll everybody, befriend motherfuckers and try and turn them in on each other. But mate, kudos to you. See all the information you get from your private investigator, all their names and addresses, mate. Give them to me and I'll make sure that their victims, all their victims out there, can get their names and addresses as well. And then they can deal with these people in real life. Pass the details on to the police and stuff, and hopefully the police will get enough details to actually do something about these motherfuckers. And if not, maybe some people in real life can actually go and ask them face to face why they're doing what they're doing. And every single one... I think my moose is running out of battery. That would be a killer. Anyway, so I'm saying what I see here, and I've seen it before. Seen it with Brian Harvey. They provoked him into running around his house with a knife and getting steel gates put in his door. They done it with myself, provoked myself with threatening me in my house and all that. And you know, when we anonymous fucking limp dick motherfuckers are threatening you and all that online, you want to find out who they are and go and confront them in the real world. And they'll typically try and direct their death threats and all that through a big fat fucking sweaty vagina, hoping that like you'll go like that, hey you fat cow, and they'll go, look, he's swearing at a woman. She's just orchestrated people death threatening me and my family. What the fuck does any other normal human being do? You know? It's all bullshit. It's like, it's not even real. They're walking around with fucking criminals in their network trying to fucking act like they're morally outraged with people selling I believe in leprechaun fucking t-shirts. Fucking idiots. And they love nothing more than going and winding up God botherers and pretending they're Satanists and all that shit. That is sick and twisted. Taking advantage of people, taking liberties. This is something that would never happen in the real world. You know, picking on the weak, picking on the mentally infirm. People done that out in public, they would get the living shit kicked out of them and kept in check with a normal person on the street because it's fucking unacceptable behaviour on and offline. And when these backward windy licking motherfuckers' names and addresses and all that start getting exposed, hopefully the police will be able to hold them accountable for their actions. Or the people that they're death threatening and trying to fucking think it's fun and games trying to destroy people's lives, maybe they can hold them accountable in real life. Watch the fucking trolls, fucking how hard they are when you confront them one-on-one. Wavy Davy, man, I'm fucking Peaky Blinders, I'll stick you with my fucking thing. Don't know if that's homoerotic or what. So there's Wendy Wu, who apparently apologised and stopped this, but then started making weird videos with fucking war music, creepy fucking subliminal messages via warp, twisted menopausal cow, man. Cuckoo! Fucking beware of the women with the menopause, man. Is there a vaccination for fucking Looney Tune women that hit the menopause? I think menopausal women shouldn't be allowed near the internet. I'm being honest. Call me a misogynist if you like. Wendy Wu and fucking Lady Sparkle are good examples of menopausal women shouldn't be allowed fucking near the internet. That's what I'm going to run on when I'm running for president. And here, when Pi was doing a live stream with all the Flow Destroyer, Brian Harvey trolls, now befriended him by blowing smoke up his arse, but they don't really like him because they were slagging him off and slating him at one point, but now they blow smoke up his arse to give them a wee arena to operate in. And they try and drag Crossman in to attack Brian Harvey. They've dragged Pi Zygote in to attack Brian Harvey. They've appropriated Pi Zyguy's channel and chat room to control the narrative and make it look like there's to propagate people in the way of hatred towards Brian Harvey for some reason, because the guy was a pop star, took drugs and shagged women. I think that's his crime. And I think he fell down a conspiracy rabbit hole or two along the way. and he said openly that he suffers from bipolar and depression. But these trolls are doctors, you know. They're so qualified mental professionals that they sit at home licking fucking Windows 10 24/7 trying to fucking wind people up online. So there was me showing that there's people sitting in all I was saying was, Pi, I want to speak to you on Skype, and we can address these crazy allegations people are making. Cut out the middlemen, mate, you know. It cuts down the Chinese whisper effect. You know, go straight to the source like all good citizen journalists would. But nah, the people sitting in his chat room, you can go and see all the usual fucking names. Candy Cane, Elf Hunter, Fanny Jones. All the usual cretins. Yeah. What's this? And the hitman. See, they're now trying to say that Brian Horrell is trying to send out a hitman to kill these people. This has been done before. This is another narrative. Like, private eyes are legal. They cost money. And people can make YouTube videos about how they're using their money to pay for private investigators to find out who these anonymous trolls are, so they can get dealt with appropriately. Oh my god. Stop the press. Stop the press. Popstar takes drugs. Stop the press. Popstar shags women. Stop the press. Popstar has dog. Or dogs. Stop the press. Popstar believes in conspiracies. Stop the press. A man pays for a private investigator to find out what fucking anonymous Looney Tune is threatening your family members. Brian will speak to you in a second, mate. To me, this sounds like Plisco. He's the one that usually goes and starts dishing out threats and... this guy can't leave his fucking bedroom. He's literally a cave troll. He fucking stay like windows, curtains shut and all that in his fucking bedroom and his fucking sticky keyboard, man. I'm not even joking. I've seen videos of this fucking windy licker, man. That is what he is. A lobotomized fucking idiot. Anyway, so there's more people. Oh my god, man, who's reacting to his wife getting threatened is going to pay for a PI to find out who's doing it. More power to you, Brian. And please share the wealth when you find out who these people are, and I'll make sure all their victims know all the details to report it to the proper people. Let's see how long their little shit continues. Right, I'm going to give Brian a quick phone. See if he... he must be busy. Right, if you're no busy later, he's a shout, Brian. Oh, hold on. I think he pushed the wrong button.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Aye, all good, buddy. How's tricks?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Getting there. Getting there, my friend. Thank you for the heads up.
That's all right. Right, I'm just pushing a wee button here so I can get you on my headphones. There we go. That's okay.
No problem.
Right, mate. Well, I was just, I don't know. I was just showing there that it's obviously now like a slander campaign against yourself.
It's not so much a slander. I can deal with slander. I can deal with threats like verbally. But when they've got my wife's personal name and they're putting her name and address up and they're putting her phone numbers, my wife had phone numbers. I've got 3 autistic children. And my other son, they've got his number. How they got it, I don't know. Making threats to him. I've had threats, so I showed you the texts, that Tommy Robertson and his crew are coming round to my house. Yeah.
Mate, can I give you a head? Can I give you a heads up here, mate? Right.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out how they would have got these phone numbers and all that. Right.
I don't know. That's because they're private.
Right.
I've had to change my number twice, Craig.
You know, you're saying your veins are autistic, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know from my own experience, autistic veins can be a nightmare on social media. If you know what I mean.
Absolutely agreed. So I don't know whether one of them has done that. Give
Yeah.
me.
Well,
but
mate,
it's-
this is what they do. This is what they do. They done it to me. They'll create fake accounts on like Facebook, for
Craig,
example.
I'm relentless. Craig is relentless. I mean, I'm on about relentless. I've shown you today from one person. I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to expose them yet. But that is one person. 19 messages constantly today. Yeah, I won't react. I showed you I won't react. I've had to go to the police. I don't go to police. I've had to go to police. I've shown you evidence. I've had to go for malicious and the attachments and harassment. It's constant. I mean, constant. Well, I had to employ a private investigator. Yeah,
Brian,
maybe
I can give you crime. I can give you some crime reference numbers that I've got for up here as well. The same people, if you want.
I've got a sister called Yvonne Brown. Now she's got nothing. She's not even on the internet. She's been properly trolled. Properly. I mean, she's a single mum. Yeah, with 3 children. Yeah, proper by the legend Plisco, who is also true caller. Proper nasty messages. She's a single mum of 54. Even my sister. Yvonne, she don't need this, and all she did was back my corner. The poor girl, you know me. Thank God she's strong, but my wife now is going into. My wife now is going into deep mode because she's been threatened. How they got my wife's phone number, I don't know. Give me.
Through your businesses, mate, what they would have done is they would have got all your business connections. They've got members. Some of the people in the network are ex-cops, or maybe current cops as well. Some of them are social workers and working that kind of.
Well, I've had my number. I changed my number 3 weeks ago. Right, and this certain person has gave hoof-hearted my number, getting constant threats from this guy. Yeah, constant threats. You see, I mean, it's relentless. When I say it's relentless. Yeah, all because I went to back up Brian Harvey. That's all it's about. And exposed. That's all it's about. Like exposing in public. That's all it's about. And I won't stop. If I have to go bankrupt, I'll go bankrupt over this. I will. I swear to God. They crossed the line threatening my children. They crossed the line and they put my wife's name and address out there.
Mate, that's what they'll do. Like, it's not surprising, mate. They've done this numerous times. And it is that Plisco guy. And if you look at the details at the bottom of my screen, you'll
I did Alan Mitchell. Alan Mitchell. He's trolling my sister daily. She gets 30 messages a day threatening her. She's a single mum of 3 kids. She don't need this. She's got nothing to do with this. And all she did was say I'm his brother and he's a good man. That's all she said. One comment.
That's all it takes, mate. They don't even need to say it negative. See, all they need to do is like be friendly to you, and they'll just constantly get trolled.
I didn't expect this, Craig. I mean, you did warn me. I'm not going to lie. You did tell me 3 weeks ago, Brian, stop even commenting with me. But you did tell me. I should have took your advice. Yeah, but it's constant. Now they've put my wife's name out there and my children. I said, I've got 3 disabled children. It ain't right. My wife's frightened to even put my kids on. I know it's stupid, but even to put kids online on their gaming.
Brian, here's another thing as well, mate. Just a heads up. See, right now you're chatting. Don't give out any information at all, mate, because they'll use it to their advantage. What I mean in the sense is you're sitting there saying your sister's name, right? I know it's already out there and they've already got it and stuff, right? But it's just like even talking about how many kids
she's angry. She's angry. What's happening? Craig. She's proper angry, mate.
Well, let's hope your PI picks. Let's hope your PI.
He's doing well. I know he's doing well. I'll send you everything, mate. I promise you, I'll send you everything I've got. But I'm willing to. I'll put it out there. I'm not bothered. Do you with me? But I'm just not in this world. You're more dear to it than I am. I spoke to you a couple of times. But
if you're going to put anything out, mate, touch base with a lawyer first and foremost.
I went to my lawyers on Thursday. I went to my legal team on Thursday.
Good. Keep yourself right, mate, because they'll try and set you up and fuck you up somehow, mate. Oh, Deep State Illuminati.
He's just putting my.
You cut out there for a wee sec, Brian.
You still there? You still there?
Still here, mate. Just cut.
Oh,
just cut out.
It's just that when they put my wife's details and my children's, crosses the line, mate.
Oh, it does, mate. They've got no. They're worse than gangsters. You know what I mean? They're worse than gangsters. There's no moral code or anything, mate. And that's why the only way to stop them is to expose them really who they are.
I mean, they hide behind these fake accounts and fake names and that lot. I'll put my name out there. My name's Brian Hill. I've got no problem. But these people are to go at children who are disabled. I mean, what is the hell? What scumbags are they?
Scumbags, mate. You said that. Just complete scumbags.
I've never come across anybody. They got me so. I'll be honest with you, Craig. I'll be totally honest with you. One of them got me so wound up the other day. He said, "Oh, come and meet me." I'm like an idiot. I went out at 1 o'clock in the morning going to meet the fella because he got me so wound up. And my wife crying, children crying. Yeah, but he got me so wound up. This guy got my phone number from a certain person. Don't name her. We all know who she is. But what ridiculous! I should never have bit, but I did, and I should have listened to you. Don't buy it. But they're relentless. I've got 2 phones, a business phone and my personal phone. They got both numbers.
I know, mate, I know. Well, like, speak to your lawyer about the harassment you're getting over the telephone. That gives you a lot more leverage than stuff that's
You've
happening.
seen today what I sent you from one person. You've seen today from one, but I've not replied to one. I sent you 13 messages. I've not replied to one. You can see that, yeah?
Now, see if you get a name and address and you go and touch your lawyer.
I've got the name and address. I've got the name and address.
You can then start the wheels in motion for harassment and what do you call that fucking order to keep
It's
them away from you.
malicious communications and harassment. Plus, there's 3 other charges because she's made threats to my family now. I've had threats to my family. Give me, yeah. Ain't right. You want to come at me? Come at me. Come at me. I'll deal with it. Don't bring my wife and children. 11. I was 11. He's 11 for fuck's sake. Excuse my language, Craig. He's 11. He's autistic.
You're all right. You can swear in here, mate. You'll get away with it.
Sorry, he just and putting my son. What it is, Craig? My son's got the same name as me. Yeah, and she's putting it out all the time. It ain't right. It ain't right. And I've still not named the person on your show. You with me? Ain't right.
Just be careful, mate, because one of the things they do as well is they genuinely try and entrap you. So not only will they wind you up to try and get you to react and then film you and go, look how crazy he is for reacting that way, even though you're just reacting to like your wife crying, your Wayne's crying. That would wind anybody up to Heido. But they'll also like legally try and entrap you and all that as well.
This guy asked me, this who-hearted, asked me to go to a police station in Colchester. I'll come. I said, I'll come. But why a police station outside a police station 10 o'clock at night? Well, sorry, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm lying. 1 o'clock in the morning. But I went like an idiot. He never turned up. Thank God. Yeah, but why would you want to meet at Colchester police station? Makes no right to me.
Don't do that. Do you know what they're doing? They're doing that and then laughing amongst themselves when you.
That's exactly what they did. Exactly what they did. But as soon as they put my wife's name out there, Craig, it's just wrong, mate. It's just wrong. I'll face anybody, but don't bring my children out there.
Mate, this is the thing. Like what I was saying to you as well. Be careful what you talk about live and stuff, right? See, for example, you're on air right now telling them your kryptonite, mate. So see, bouncing around and going, talking about my wife, talking about my kids. That's a step too far and stuff. It's only going to lead to them doing it more, mate. I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, but this is the reality. So
yeah, I know.
Privately amongst your pals and all that, obviously talk about your kryptonite and stuff, but don't publicly admit that, because what they do is they fish for your weak spots and what triggers you and shit, and then just constantly bombard you with that.
Well,
shit.
I'm lucky. I've got enough money to put it on them on legally, you with me. But as I say, I shouldn't have to do this, mate. But you're right. I'll take your advice.
Hold on, breaking news, mate. There's breaking news. Pop star takes drugs and sleeps with women, and man whose wife was threatened pays a PI to find out the anonymous arsehole that's threatening her. You know, there's no story there. There's like any moral outrage.
You said the right thing. If I was 18, 19 like Brian and was a pop star, wouldn't you do sex, drugs, and rock and roll? I would.
Mate, I done it and I wasn't a pop star. I don't know what my excuse was. Still trying to live that lifestyle. I know, I get you, mate. It's phony. It's fake. It doesn't make sense. It's just
totally, absolutely. It's a conspiracy and a campaign to discriminate this guy. And I swear to God, Craig, I know the guy. They've nearly put him in the grave. I spoke to him today. He's nearly put him in the grave. He can't even watch comments. You with me? They've nearly got. But I won't back down. I will not back down from them. You with me? But it's continuous.
Don't let it take over your life, mate. Because what they'll do all they'll do is just try and waste your time. So, like for example, there was a point where I was shutting down other channels because all they were doing was using my stuff, and it's fucking relentless. And they would just make up more channels and put the shit up. Like, fucking get on, mate.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody wants to believe fucking conjecture and bullshit put out on YouTube, then they're idiots in the first place.
I just understand what their agenda is. What do they get from it? These are silly little YouTubers with little channels. There's no money involved. I'm a money person. I like my money. You've made a £1 note legally. But what do they get from it? I can't get my head around what they get from this.
I can't either, mate. I can't either. It's like, I don't know. But do you know what? We're talking about autistic people being a nightmare on the social media, and I'm talking about first-hand experience I've had within my kind of extended family and stuff. I don't know, what is it? You know, like they don't know the norms or whatever, right? I don't know. I know fucking they can get into trouble. I think that Plisco is fucking.
He's a lunatic.
He's
he's got another account called True Crawler. My sister's had 30 messages today. 30 from him. Yeah, threatening her. Hello, Mitchell. Yeah. For what? She's made one comment.
I'll send you a video of him in his bedroom, mate. Honestly, and you make it sounds like
he's a weirdo. I know he is. He's a weirdo. I know where he is. I know where he lives. But he's a weirdo. But he won't leave my sister alone. He's a proper weird fucker.
You couldn't even get him out his house to confront him in the street.
No. Well, he tried to send. Honestly, Craig, he sent me details. I'll send you it. But he lives in Devon. Gave me all the road map details on Google. Come and meet me. Well, I know he doesn't. No, I swear I'll send it to you. I know he doesn't live in Devon, but he sent the Google Maps from where I live to where in Devon, a Devon address.
Did they say he left a trail of gingerbread crumbs to lead you there as well?
I think so, mate. I mean, who does that? Seriously.
I don't think he's right. Well, I think he's obviously not right, but I'm trying to figure out in what way, you know, because it's like that kind of. I mean, who? I don't know about you, mate. I don't have anybody in my family or friends that kind of behaviour would be not like. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know anybody in my life. I don't know anybody in my life I've ever met like this.
Well,
anybody in my life. I don't know anybody who's insane like these 5 people.
Well, they don't like their family.
Insanity.
They don't like their extended family members finding out what they're up to and all that. So that's a good way to.
Honestly, as my nephew says, they sit under a staircase. Creepy people on a keyboard. That's what he says. People, honestly, strange people. But
Deep State Illuminati.
Are you still there?
Yeah, mate, just cutting out in and out a wee bit.
Yeah, luckily, I've got a couple of quid that I could put on these people. You hear me? But they're wrong uns. As I said, Jim, 312 girls died last year from cyberbullying abuse. 312.
I wonder how many they're responsible for.
312.
I'll
show you the data. I'll show you the data.
No, I'm saying
312.
I wonder how many of these people are directly responsible for.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me if a few.
I'm telling you, they can send someone over the edge. If you're not strong, they can send you over the edge.
Mate, this is why, I'm sitting scratching my head and wondering what's going on here, because it's not a bunch of. It's not people just calling you names. It's an MO. It's a process of psychological abuse and attack.
Well, as I showed you tonight, I'll be threatened with Tommy Robinson stealing and coming to my house. That's what I'll be threatened with. Yeah, and his crew. Right. My place is secured up to the nines. There's not a problem. But anybody else, can you imagine how frightened they would be?
I know, mate. I know.
Now, can you imagine how frightened? My place, I'm sweet. I'm all right. I'm securityed up. But can you imagine a single parent how scared they would be? Clips,
mate. This is. I think it's a deliberate ploy because they there's nothing quite like threatening somebody in their home. Right.
There's worse when your children and your wife are putting their names up and then saying they're going to send a far-right activist group to your house. Can you imagine? I mean, I can hold my corner, but that would scare the life out of anybody.
Is that what you told the cops, aye?
Yeah, I mean, I was sent them today. The message I was sent today that Tommy Robinson's coming to my house. Yeah, TR, she was saying, give me. Bring him. I'll invite him fucking in. I'm camered up. I'll debate him. I've got no fucking problem with that. Give me.
Mate, as much as I disagree with Tommy Robinson's politics, man, I don't know. I see if I bumped into him in a bar, I think you could have a good giggle with him.
Listen, I've got nothing
that's just
against
me.
him. His views are his views. Free speech is free speech. Right, give me a clip. But he ain't going to come here. You know, I've got friends who know him. He ain't going to come here. But I just worry about the people who she could send over the edge. If they were doing that to a single parent or it'd be a family, they'd be scared shitless.
I told you she wasn't going to finish it as well, mate. Hadn't went away.
No,
You
she
know?
won't. I've got everything on her. She's a journalist. I've got everything on her.
See, once like you like apparently she took the videos down of Brian Harvey and apologised.
She took 68 videos down.
Well, she
and then
started
put an
putting up.
apology up.
She started putting up video after video with these creepy subliminal music shit, like Jailhouse Rock and all sorts of weird shit.
He done basically. I was asked to go on a YouTuber called Reels. Yeah, Brian went live with him. Yeah, she kept saying, "Don't go on, don't go on." She took all the videos down. She then put a public apology up called The End. It was called The End. She took that down now as well. Now, because she's done a 180 again, Brian spoke to her on the day of the video. Yeah, now she's just gone nasty again. I've got all the evidence on her. She's a nasty piece of work. But I'm not bothered about myself. Listen, I can hold my corner. It just worries me that the people she can threaten. Now she's on other people. She's gone off me. She's on other people. But she's a racist, bad person. I'll send you the videos. Proper bad.
It's what happens when menopause meets YouTube land, mate.
How many hours can they spend online, mate?
It's lockdown, innit? They've got nothing else to do, and it turns into their own wee EastEnders drama. And you know what women are like when they fucking get their teeth into being a bitch, you know? And I'd never listened to that Wendy Wu before, and then I was listening to her, and she's going, "Alright, bitch, I'm a bitch, you're a bitch." I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like some sort of a weird ass soap opera for these fucks.
But you tell me, Craig, how do they get away with it? All right, there was on one video alone, I've got it recorded, for 2 hours. She called a guy the N-word 53 times. 53 times called him the N-word. And another guy, the P-word, 14 times. Directly called him a dirty P and a dirty N. Yeah? How do they get away with it?
So she wasn't using the words like amongst friends and all that. She was calling human beings.
No, she was directly going at two people. Two people. I've got the full video. Yeah, I've got the full video recorded. I'll send it to you. It's directly serious racism. To a T you can't imagine. Honestly, seriously bad.
It reminds me of Lady Sparkle. She was caught banky rights like when Hunnels are
Michelle
racist.
Bingham. That's Michelle Bingham. Yeah. But she's gone off on different accounts. This woman is relentless. She was bad. I mean, you tell me, Craig, why would she take suddenly 68 videos down, put a public apology, but when I tell her this is what she is, she suddenly then turns in the last 6 months.
The HRT were off.
Maybe.
Sorry, mate.
The Valium. She didn't stop taking a Valium.
Honestly, like, see when you see women acting like that, I know it's a comical place to go to, but that's the first thing I think. It's like that Brian Rose at London Real. I'm like that, midlife crisis, and women I hear acting like that. I don't know about you, mate.
But Brian Rose, I used to follow Brian Rose until I found out the company's owned by Lebedev. Lebedev is Putin's. He owns by Putin is his nephew, Lebedev. Yeah, it's not even owned by Brian Rose. London Real was owned by Lebedev. Yeah. And you look really into this, you can find out. So I thought Brian Rose actually owned London Real. I know he's an American accountant, but he doesn't. It's all owned by. I mean, you can look up George Galloway, 48. I went on his show, tried to cut me off, but I wouldn't stop. Yeah. And he's that's RT News, which is the same sort of thing. But Brian Rose, total fake, absolute bollocks. He's owned by the company's owned by Lebedev. You can check it out. Yeah.
No, I seen that, man, and like it doesn't surprise me because it's all kind of, I don't know. He's a fake on so many levels, but each to their own. If people like that kind of jazz,
listen, it's freedom of speech. Say what you're going to say, but just be honest. Just be straight and honest. He don't own the company.
And he hasn't created a digital freedom platform either. The only freedom is the freedom of him to do what he wants, take people's money.
Yeah, it's all about him getting subscribers. That's all it is. Subscribers. Give me.
Well, mate, I don't know if you've ever touched base with the sales world, right? One of the most powerful tools is like, having like a marketing database or something.
Yep.
No, that's what he's creating. And
he runs off a script, Craig. He runs off a script. I know the sales world. I know where they run. I know it. I was in the sales world. I've got the sales people. Yeah, he's a good salesman. Don't get me wrong. He's fucking good. but he runs off a script, what we call a script. Yeah, but he's good. I'm all getting shut down by YouTube and all that, and going to his site, his personal site. That was all bollocks. If nobody see that, me.
It's a good spin. It's a good spin. You got to take your hat off to him.
Oh no, listen, you got to take it up to him. You got to take. He's going to an undisclosed location. Well, you don't need bunker. You don't need to go to an undisclosed location to do a live stream. You can do a live stream from the street.
He could invite David. He could invite him round to his living room and done it for his living room. You know.
I was going to bring him to yours and do a Stasi effect. What do you reckon?
That'd be funny. Right, so
man,
Brian, we'll wrap up we'll summarise all this jazz and then
I'll give you a tinkle later, my friend.
No, I'm just saying, is there anything else you want to say? Because
no, I'll be honest with you, mate. Listen, I can deal with them legally. It's just a point of like my sister was like my children. Yeah, they're putting my children because my son's got the same name as me. He's only 11. They're putting up my details of my wife, and she got to know. I kept a lot away from her. It's wrong, and it's all because I'm exposing Ian Puddock, and Wendy Wu. That's all it was about. That's the bottom line.
Here's another thing as well, right, mate? Because they use a couple of attack dogs, right, that will come at you with the biggest venom. It's that Windy Liquor Plisco that does the mainly. But see, anybody in that network that's like condoning that behaviour, you're as bad as the people doing it. And I've been privy to them all sitting round and laughing and backslapping each other when they're doing this shit to people, mate.
Really?
It was at 007 when he worked in a pub playing music, and somebody stole his guitar or his suitcase or something, and they found holiday footage from his resort and pretended it was them that was stealing his stuff and all that. And this was because him and Flo Destroyer fell out. So there's a commonality here as well. Anybody that falls out with Flo, the whole fucking network, then just it's like a red light. It's I guess you get green lit. Just as a target with these mob, man. And
they've got no morals, though, Craig. No morals at all. I mean, I would never put anyone's children's or their wife. I'll go and knock on their door.
That's another reason why it doesn't make sense. They try and pretend they're coming from a moralistic place, and they're trying to stop people conning people out their money and talking about like crazy conspiracies. But you can't then turn into what you proclaim to hate. And even worse, mate.
Craig, I've had 17 different people ask me since I put that video up when I showed you. Remember the one I showed you? Yeah, about the money. Yeah. I've had 17 different sites ask me for funding to sponsor their sites. I don't even know them.
No, mate. Well, just be wary of all that shit. As I said, they'll try and set you up every way you can. Right,
I appreciate the time, my friend. No worries, you take care. I'll give you a Skype you later on, my friend. You take care.
Right, you
and
too,
big
buddy.
up to you, my friend. Look after yourself.
You too, mate. We'll catch you after.
Bye-bye, mate. Bye-bye, mate.
Right, there's a wee bit of an update, man. So, do your due diligence. And remember, there's like more than one Craig Houston in the world. There's more than one Brian Horrell. There's more than one Daniel Bostock. I remember back in the day when people wanted to make Bostock look bad or something. There was a lot of people hating him because he was a Mason or some shit, I don't know. And they found a news story with Daniel Bostock that had done X, Y, or Z. Can't remember. It was a different Brian Bostock and stuff, but it didn't stop idiots try to propagate that and implant it in people's heads. And unfortunately, the shit show that is YouTube and social medias, a lot of that shit stuck in a lot of people's idiots' heads, that because it fitted their worldview that Bostock was a Mason and in on the conspiracy, that the fact that there was a guy with the same name that done something horrible at some point, it's him. Let's fuck researching it and checking it out and see if it's the right guy. Just boom, proof evidence. There's a website with the same guy's name, you know. And then it's all these like it's what media men do. It's kind of weird. See all the same shit this mob do. It's almost like tabloid-esque smear shite. Pop star took drugs and slept with women. Man who's like they miss out the part that this guy's wife's getting threatened and his wains are getting called and he's getting constant harassment. And the fact that he's going, I'm going to pay for a PI to find out who these arseholes are that are doing it. They just go, oh, look, this man's buying a hitman to kill me. And they think it's a woman as well. He's threatening to kill a woman. No, he's not. He's paying a PI to go after anonymous fucks online that are bullying and harassing not only him and his wife and his children in their home. So, make your own mind up about fucking virtue signalling idiots out there trying to implant in your head their morals. And it doesn't make sense. Anywho, right, onwards. Sure there's other shit to talk about. Kill Bill, motherfucker. Remember, I am not an NPC. I want to kill Bill Gates independently. I'm not an NPC, you see. I want to kill Bill Gates independently. That's my rap. That's my robot rap. Hold on. It's getting a bit dark here. Getting a wee bit dark out. Right, so here's We Are Change telling you, so these people need to be stopped immediately and held accountable. Bill Gates, this crazy man. He wants to vaccinate away diseases in third world countries. But remember, don't look into the undeniable science of vaccinations. Look at the selective horror stories of vaccinations going wrong. And let a bunch of fundamental Christians gaslight you. A bunch of militant pro-lifers gaslight the shit out of you and make your arsehole go like that over vaccinations, relying on your ignorance of the science around it. And then Kill Bill, 2 birds with 1 stone. He funds vaccinations. And in fact, he actually, in the laboratory, storing in a cauldron like that, wee bit of arsenic, kill all the kids. And his dad was part of Planned Parenthood. So why wouldn't the militant pro-life people not love Bill Gates? So that's just my suggestion. I understand why the militant pro-lifers hate Bill Gates. I just can't understand why people can't see that they're all independently want to kill Bill now. The same as the militant pro-life mob that coincidentally Jim Dawson cut his teeth with over in the States. Coincidentally. And now here we have Luke Judowski, We Are Change. Kill Bill. Oh God. Kill Bill. And Independent Amy. He based Amy. He's independently now. Oh, hold on. How do you do this? How do you start it without starting it? And I want the thumbnail. There's a way of doing this and I've forgot. It's not just muting it, it's pausing it up. Nah, right, anyway. I can't work YouTube. Alright, well there we go. Just the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Ah ha 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 ha! Evil Joker. Oh ho ho ho. And look, I'm not telling you what to think about Bill Gates and stuff. I'm just look, has nobody begged the question why there's certain entities in particular echo chambers of the internet that are held up as uber villains, and not only are they held up in uber villains. Now, listen closely what I'm saying here. They are literally demonized. Alex Jones talks about Bill Gates being a baby-eating demon. And he says this to enough people who genuinely believe it, and that's how you get the Kill Bill effect. You have to dehumanize this. Good or bad, I don't think this guy's a walking, talking demon. I don't think he wakes up and God knows what he thinks in the morning, but I don't think it's about killing babies. Call me crazy. But hey ho, Alex Jones obviously knows better. You know, Alex Jones didn't lie about his phone call to Joe Rogan. That's why Joe Rogan didn't have to phone Tim Pool, which he did, and tell him that Alex Jones embellished pretty much all of it. Anyway, independently, want to kill Bill. Press for truth, unbelievable. Mandatory vaccinations in the US and Canada like it or not. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Because I don't know if I'll be taking a vaccination. But I'm a batshit crazy conspiracy person, and I don't want to stop other people taking a vaccination if they want to. But maybe I'm wrong. I haven't heard the word mandatory getting used, and I've been listening closely, and the question has been asked. Meet Bill Gates, there's the Corbett report. Now, let's remember the Corbett. And again, this guy independently wants to tell you how bad Bill Gates is. And this guy's so brainy that he can't look at the undisputable science in and around vaccinations. Right. The Kill Bill segment. And my lordy, 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 lordy. To the best of my knowledge, somehow Richie from Boston got an well, not somehow, man. These people, if you ask them, will come on. I mean, I interviewed Mike Rivero once. I'm too like, I don't know. It was like chatting with Jim Dawson the other week. Ryan Dawson the other week. You know, you can put forward your theories, but it's not my job to convince them any other way. I've got my opinion where Ryan Dawson's coming from. I don't think he even hides it that much. And it's not from the same position I'm coming from. But interviewing these people one-to-one, it's a bit harder to hold them to account or say what you want as colourfully as you want to. But my God, Richie from Boston speaking to Corbett. Why is this in the Kill Bill? But sure, they're talking about vaccinations and all that jazz.
How about this? I pulled this up. I was fast and furious on this. I've had 53 videos taken down off of YouTube. 1, 2, just non-stop.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
it still
as smart
falls down. As
about
right.
my word placement as
still
other...
falls down, right? These are temporary things, and
anyway, they're talking about vaccinations and all that jazz. I think that might have ended up in the wrong folder. Anyway, here is... Oh, this is good. US Fake, aka Brian Rose. The London Real Meltdown. Right, I want to share. Oh. Get rid of that. And I shall share the wealth of this link with you if you want to go and check this out at some point. Feel free to go and do that. Sorry, Chad, didn't get the chance to say that they fucking cyber stalked and bullied you, and you've got autism as well, man. So they make up accounts in the name of people's dead relatives and stuff, man. There is no boundary. They think that's like cool, big and clever. I don't know. But somebody's putting 20 grand into a PI to find out who these people are. These are going to be held accountable for your actions at some point. So I can't believe that one day I'd be sitting here going like that. I can see why there should be some sort... And I'm not telling you to think this way or trying to implant it in your head. I can just honestly now see the merit of like some sort of a like internet ID. But do you know what, to be honest? It's already in practice. And it's on Facebook. You know, the only way they can operate in Facebook is not by direct attacks, because then you can get the account took away like that, because Facebook, if you report a fake name or people being bullbaggery, Facebook will ask them to confirm their ID and all that stuff, so people can't set up numerous anonymous accounts and attack folk. But what they do set up anonymous accounts under like family members' names and get into your circles on Facebook. Sounds like that's how they've done it to Brian. Or used their connection within some of their connections within the network to obtain some of Brian's private information, which they do on lots of folk, because they're scumfucks, little ratbags, man, who would never act this way in real life and would never put their face or name to even the shit they're doing online. I'm just looking in the Skype. If somebody's blocked by accident or whatever and they want unblocked, send me their URL and I can unblock it, but I need their YouTube address basically. So if anybody wants that, hit me up on Skypes. Right, where was I? Oh.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. At the end of this video, I'm going to be showing
a
clip from an interview I did with Rebel Wisdom. We both investigated the London Real saga, and finally we decided, look, we need to sit down, have a conversation about this whole thing, unpack it, talk about the anonymous sources who've contacted us, talk about everything. And so I've got a little clip of that, and Rebel Wisdom is going to post the full interview on his site tomorrow. So check for that tomorrow morning. But before we...
What do you think? Think I should get some elevator clown music and constantly have it playing in the background? Maybe I should. That's probably copyrighted. I'm gonna do that, it'd be so funny. We couldn't take the editing serious when you've got the clown music in the background, man, it'd be brilliant. I need to do a wee test and see the copyright hit on it and all that, but it's a work in progress. Can't easily do the live editing on that right now. So let's have a wee look at Brian Rosie's meltdown.
Get to that. Before we do that, I want to Saturday London Real post possible, but that doesn't make a lot of sense because if you wanted to be free to raise donations to do this, lol.
Go to digital. Sorry, I want to share that, but I did share it. This isn't the one I thought. We'll share this as well.
I much prefer to be making films about the wider issues raised by it, kind of free speech, censorship. But it is such a good story, and I feel that it's worth rounding it off. And I thought the best way to do that would be to have a dialogue with CoffeeZilla. So CoffeeZilla is an...
Yeah, I have a sophisticated talk. I know that's some people's style, it's not mine. Right, where is this one? Vice has become the BBC. That was his retort to the... Was he left a link to the Vice article? No, I don't think he has. The Vice article destroyed him. All his bullshit. Basically. I could get a cup of coffee and be a bit more sophisticated and all that, but go and do your own due diligence. Oh, here it's here. I knew you had it. Let me share this. The YouTuber accused of using coronavirus to scam his followers. He used the fear of corona, David Icke's bullcrap, sensationalist rubbish, to be quite frank, to make over £1 million. Kudos to him. And offer up nothing more than a website we embedded already established hosting platforms.
So Brian Rose and London Real
Is this
are
gonna
under
be-
attack by none other than Vice. Yes, Vice came out with a very harsh article, pretty much claiming that Brian Rose is doing some shady stuff with this whole digital platform network.
No shit, Sherlock. Oh man, I'm sorry. I've mucked up. I had a video somewhere which I've obviously misplaced or not put in. My bad. That showed you all the screenshots and stuff of all the comments he removed, and he was telling people to shut up and you don't have a right to speak unless you donate and all that, you know, on his freedom of speech platform. You've got the right to pay him money, but you've not got the right to say what you want and question all the bullcrap on his platform. So, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. It's probably in one of these other folders. I've actually probably put it in a wrong folder. Anyway, let's move on. Let's pretend I did have that clip, okay? Don't tell anybody. So, again, this guy isn't what does he class himself as, a philosopher or a psychologist? I don't know. He's a YouTube charlatan. Who's now trying to position himself as some sort of an authority on the coronavirus. My argument is, don't get your medical advice from people like Stefan Molyneux.
You are doing well, and
he is the Iron Giant.
that your stay-at-home permanent timeout from modern capitalism is, well, I guess becoming progressively unsatisfying or dissatisfying for you. So I wanted to do...
Wow, his audio's horrible, man. In the background. Don't know if you can hear it.
a little chat here just to... Oh, I don't know. I need some help. I've had this thought.
I agree. You do need help.
Going round and round and round.
A wee bit of oil for your joints, because he's the Iron Giant.
Round in my brain, like some Sting cover of an old 70s song. And I can't sort it out. I cannot, for the life of me, sort it out. And hi, everyone.
If only you had a brain.
Hope you're doing well. And everything coming through okay. We are streaming. I'm trying 60 frames.
Anyway, don't get your corona advice from fake philosophers or whatever he calls himself on YouTube.
This is Dabu7. We have a company in France that may be getting the green light to roll out these tunnels to help people disinfect themselves, so to speak.
New World Order scumbags.
Everything that's happened here with the lockdowns and life as we know it changing, I know everyone wants to get back to life the way it was, but it seems that the governments out here are pushing to make this something else.
The scumbags. The governments are pushing to disinfect shopping carts. Shit, I'm American. Shopping carts. Supermarket trolleys. Shopping carts. So that people can do it without dying and shit. The New World Order scumbags. The world will never be the same. I want the right to lick doorknobs and die.
To where you can't just go about business like you used to for decades. In France, for instance, if they have it their way here with this company, they're going to be rolling out these little areas like this where you have to go through one of these things.
New World Order conspiracy. Company tries to profit from shit.
And basically get soaked. Get misted down with what they say is water and nitrogen.
Yeah, but I bet you it's chemtrails.
Some people say they don't trust that that's all that's in it.
No, you're saying that. You're saying that. Yeah, I think this is a New World Order conspiracy to get us like directly into the chemtrails. It's like a chemtrail tunnel. If the chemtrails from the all the airplanes weren't killing us, and the chemtrails from the supermarkets gonna kill us.
How can you blame them when
Doom,
people
doom,
just
doom,
get
doom.
fed lies left and
Everywhere
right?
I go, doom. Everywhere I see doom. Doom, da doom, doom, doom.
People are waking up big time throughout all this.
Yeah.
And seeing that this is a
Everybody's waking up big time. Mate, people have been waking up big time since the first time that I turned on YouTube and they were like, have you woke up yet? Have you seen the chemtrails? Do you know about the Federal Reserve? Do you know about the shapeshifters? I swear, when I first came into this, man, do you ever remember watching the videos? fucking, I can't believe it. I can't believe it was a brilliant story and it was fascinating. But when I first got into the YouTube land, I used to love watching the lizard eye videos. You know, when they would get like a reporter and there would be some sort of a digital distortion, or for the analog to digital or digital to analog, or in the uploading process to YouTube, all sorts of things that are easily understandable. Distortions to the file that's been uploaded in the very early days of YouTube, when a lot of accidents happened in the uploading process. And at points I was convinced, like, look, that guy's got lizard eyes. Or there's ones with lizard tongues coming out and everything. You know? Anyway, I long for those days. Or fake snow. I want fake snow to come back. Remember fake snow? No, come on, yabba dabba doo.
And seeing that this is a global push. Well, and
yeah, it's a global push to disinfect our shopping carts, man. The New World Order are going to take over the world with one disinfected shopping cart at that time. They say it's disinfectant to kill a virus, but we all know that we don't know what we know that they don't know. You know?
in this instance, it could do some good if it's
it could do some good. It could do some good. It could kill a virus if the virus is real, and what they say it is. Yeah, but that's far fetched. How far fetched is that? Imagine a machine that somebody's tried to sell on the back of a pandemic actually doing what it says it does. Imagine that. Chemtrail.
Done the right way, it could disinfect stuff. Once again, when we don't know, I can't trust some of these people out here and what they're doing.
I can't trust these people out here, man, what they're doing, man. It's just that the New World Order shoulders or the soldiers are everywhere, man. They want the fucking New World Order trying to get in my head by disinfecting my fucking shopping cart. You need to stay aware out there, soldiers. Okay, Private. Next time somebody tries to disinfect your shopping cart, you go, no! Say no to chemtrails.
Really, that's what it comes down to. The trust factor. With anything. Whether it's your banking system or...
Yeah, fuck knows how we went from disinfecting shopping carts to the banking system, but it's all down to whether you're conspiratorial out or not and just disbelieve everything. You know, I was in the street one day, somebody came up, this New World Order soldier came up to me and said, it was raining, and said, I got a spare umbrella. It could protect you from the rain. And I was like, no, I know that umbrella's got a tracking device in it. New World Order shill coming up, trying to befriend me on the street, trying to stop me getting wet. Using the covers, trying to me stop getting wet to get me the tracking beacon on the end of the umbrella. You know, some would say it was a kind gentleman in the street seeing someone getting soaked to the bone and he had a spare umbrella and he offered to give it to somebody. But fuck that! That means that I didn't. If I believed that, I wouldn't wake up every morning and paralyzed with doom. And I'm paralyzed with doom. And just because you're paralyzed with doom, and just because you're paranoid, it doesn't mean they're not out to get you. It also means they might not be out to get you either. The likelihood is that, like, even though you are par out of your tits, they are still not out to get you. But hey, who am I to split? Because hold on, one shopping cart at a time. I've not got the real details here. Let's see where this pearl of wisdom, doom mongering articles from. Zero Hedge. It must be real. It's coming from the mainstream media that lies to us all the time, but this time it's telling us the truth. Remember that, folks. Mainstream media lies to you apart from when the doommongers report it as truth. Makes perfect sense, yo. I mean, Zero Hedge. Alex Jones uses it all the time, right? Must be legit. Dabu7 never stays away from it. It must be legit like RT. I mean, it's got news. It's on the web. It's on the internet. It must be real. Anyway, there we go. This is the New World Order, Deep State Illuminati. Shopping trolley disinfectant unit. We all know the real agenda, right? Right? Richie for Boston better be on this motherfucker. These are secret gas chambers. You go in there, you don't come out. That's the scoop. That's the real skinny. Okay, yo. So let's get the details on the New World Order secret gas chamber, shopping cart, trolley, fake disinfectant unit.
Something like this. All the way to the science lab.
Yeah, the science lab. No, it's a gas chamber.
Can't trust them. And what are they doing out here in...
Can't trust those bastards trying to disinfect your trolley. No way, man. You know... I don't know. I'm going to continue. This is entertaining me anyway. Yeah, man, because I'm just going to slip into a paranoid delusion here about my trolley and laugh at how such an innocuous thing as somebody inventing a fucking trolley car wash can turn into a New World Order conspiracy, man. You know, at one point, I was down the rabbit hole. No, hold on, I am down the rabbit hole. This is a conspiracy, right? This is the New World Order.
Operation,
yeah.
But
a PSYOP operation, false flag.
I don't want to take away too much from this company because they could be bringing something good to the table.
Yeah, if they're really, like, disinfecting a trolley, then they might not be New World Order soldiers. But if it's a gas chamber... then maybe this is a New World Order conspiracy. Can't quite figure it out yet.
In terms of helping people disinfect, but at the same time, there's another argument that says you don't want to constantly be disinfecting yourself because you need your body.
Yeah, what you should do when you're walking to the supermarket, lick every doorknob on the way to the supermarket. That will make sure that you ingest enough viruses to protect you from the viruses. You got it? Good. Now, you don't want to be getting your trolley disinfected. You want to be licking those trolley handles to keep your immune system up there. Along with Alex Jones boner pills, keep my immune system upright instead of eating right. Pills full of shite. I think that's what they're called. Anyway, this is what it sounds. I'm back in the paranoid delusion. I told you I'm a citizen journalist again. Clips. Yeah, I woke up this morning. My voice was like this. I was like, hey, okay. Since my voice is like this, I might as well fight New World Order again. That's it. I'm going to take the fight to the man. I was when I heard about this track and tracing and the mass vaccination. That's enough. And then this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Once I understood they were trying to disinfect my trolley, I was like, no, that's one thing too far. You can give me soap. You can give me a trolley. You can give me hand gel. You can give me face masks. But try and disinfect my trolley? That's it. The gloves are off. I'm like Alex Jones. I'm going to start eating my neighbor's ass. Fuck it. I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to eat my neighbor's ass. Hey, one of my neighbors is actually quite nice. I might enjoy eating her ass. But anyway, I'm going to eat my neighbor's ass. I'm going to eat all my neighbors. Because they're trying to disinfect my trolley. My God, can't people see this is the coordinated New World Order effort? They're taking over one trolley at a time. They're taking away our liberties to lick doorknobs and have bogging trolleys. This is real, folks. It's fucking real. Can't you see the New World Order attack with the trolleys? Makes me so angry seeing these baby killer demons, Bill Gates loving fun liberals with their trolley cleaning machines. Well, no, this is nobody told you the company that invented this trolley cleaning machine is Dignitas. Go figure. Old people go in, they don't come out. Okay, got it? Good. Oh, man, sorry, I just had to do that to amuse myself, man. I'll watch that back and laugh at myself later. Fucking trolleys. Trolley disinfected machine man is a New World Order reporting the New World Order story. Vanessa Beeley, yeah, let's hear her.
A small window of opportunity. Look, you know, and please, health.
Diving into cars from bombs and stuff. It's like, and people say, oh, there's nothing you can do about it, you know. And there's you over there doing so much work and work here. So thanks for coming on the show. I mean, you can introduce yourself if you want, but just you do still work with 21st Century Wire, right? You're a
She's independent. She worked for 21st Century Wire. Henningsy, Patrick Henningsy, who used to work for Alex Jones, who now works in the UK column, but he flies under the flag of 21st Century Wire, independent, but he works for the UK column.
Editor there with Patrick Henningsy.
I'm not an editor there anymore. I tend now to work with Mint Press News.
Mint Press News, don't know them, but interesting.
A little bit more than with Patrick and UK column, of course.
Oh, right, so Patrick works with the UK column, but you work with the UK column, but not Patrick on 21st Century Wire, and you now work with Mint News. But they're all independent, you see.
Of course. Last American Vagabond, RT, good old Russian media.
Yeah. I've been on there ranting away.
Russian state media. Yeah, they take my op-eds.
Maria, I know she appears to be nice and she reports on like crimes that other people don't report on, let's say. And I'm certainly not suggesting like she seems like a nice enough woman. I'm just suggesting her objectivity. I am questioning her objectivity, being who her father and family are. And some would argue that her family are like lords who subscribe, lords that were sympathetic to the fascist movement in the UK in the 30s. Something to think about. Go and check out her family, check out who her dad was, go and check out their kind of their family political history, let's say. And then how this daughter of a lord has popped up on the front lines in Syria might make a wee bit more sense. And spewing out all this independent reporting from the street. But they're just a few things to... Aye, Maria, check out her family. I think it'll bring her into focus a wee bit more. I do believe. What's this? This is an Richie Allen. What the hell is this? Internet Corona experts. Aye. So here's Richie Allen, who interviewed Jeremy, who's an independent journalist, by the way, who independently interviewed Jeremy Corbyn's brother, who got arrested a few days later at the Saturday mass protests against 5G vaccinations, Corona tyranny, or whatever crap they were spewing. And here's Richie Allen being an echo chamber for the same kind of rhetoric pish coming from Jones, Ike, the UK column, capitalising on the pandemic. Shit, is it 11 o'clock? Capitalising on a pandemic for their political capital. Right, okay. I'm going to start wrapping up. I'm getting tired. This guy.
Big thanks to Polly Hooper.
This guy is cheering this dude on.
Who blindly.
Now, what's so hard to understand the kind of the theory that a lot of scientists share a consensus on, that in less ventilated areas, within confined areas where social distancing to 2 meters might be a wee bit harder and stuff, it might be a safe precaution to wear a mask. But in conspiracy land and in some people's nuts, this is some sort of a political New World Order infringement on their rights, rather than just a sensible precaution to take to try and prevent a further spread of a known pandemic. But anyway, and then you get people cheating this shit
partial
on.
compliance, as noted by the obviously medical grade CDC compliant mask. Kool-Aid stomach relief. You buying a meal link
down the incident.
So wearing a mask is now you being a sheep, right? They don't understand. Like, that's another version of it's another version of what Alex Jones and the UK column do to Bill Gates. To keep you away from the reasonable argument, they just demonise the guy. The guy's evil. He's killing babies.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
So, like, dehumanising them. And when you just go, look at all these sheep wearing a mask, dehumanise them. Wait till you hear this guy.
Gonna continue putting up with this type of stuff. This is gonna be the last time I shop at Walmart, apparently.
Why don't you just turn around
call
right
somebody
now?
that knows somebody that knew something.
You know, it's funny. Do you know how you can tell this is so political? So the people that don't want to wear masks are the people that wanted to force Muslims not to wear face coverings. It's ironic, isn't it? It's absolutely ironic.
So it's amazing what's going on, people. What's the problem going on?
You're not supposed to pull your stuff up till they actually walk away.
Who's they?
The lady in front of you. And they're just trying to keep everyone social distancing.
Who's they? Who? What?
We're just trying to keep everyone social distancing, so we're asking that customers wait till the previous customers
All
paid
right.
and
Well,
left.
we all know it's a big crock of lies, all right?
We just have to follow
Protocol.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this guy's a doctor, but just by looking at the cut of his jib.
And the government's agenda, and basically it's a propaganda routine, you know.
I'm not going to argue.
I get it, and I'm going to continue to resist, and I'm just done shopping here after this. How much money do I owe?
$22.54.
All right. Bah. Bah. Bah.
Oh, bless me. Get the Corona fly squad on at me. Yeah, like how mental with a hole in his mask, toilet roll in his neck, standing in the middle of the supermarket going, bah, I'm not an NPC. We all know this is fake. David Icke told me so. People who aren't doctors have told me shit. He's a walking glory hole. See, I'm about absolutes. When it comes to freedom, I'm not just about the freedom of speech. I'm about the absolute freedoms. Somebody should have the freedom to run up and toe him in the fucking balls. Preferably with a boot on a big 2-meter stick so you can do it with social distancing. And then kick him out. Fucking stop buying your fucking droplets everywhere.
22, your receipt.
She just touched my hand. Did you see that?
7567.
And if you guys are going along with it, it's going to destroy the American country. Do you not realize this? Bah! Is my food over there?
Nope, your card.
All right, good deal. You guys have a great day.
You too.
I will.
Standing in front of him going, bah, have a great day, y'all. Aye, read mate, that sounds mega sincere. Right, that was the internet corona experts, because you always want to get your advice about whether pandemics are real or not and the level of threat from YouTube. But hey, that's where doctors get their information. I don't know about you, a Swede speaks out, but he's a Swedish nationalist, but he's not speaking in Swedish, which is ironic. Then he's a Swedish nationalist, he's not got blonde hair, which is ironic. He doesn't look like Asterix, which is also ironic. And then he's talking about Boris Johnson standing with Hong Kong while talking about being a Swedish nationalist, while looking like he's got some sort of abscess in the side of his mouth.
Recently, it was revealed that Boris
Schmergen, Schmergen. Recently it was about my meatballs were in the steam room. No, the sauna.
Johnson,
Smurgen,
Prime Minister of
Hergen.
the United Kingdom, has a plan to allow refugees from Hong Kong to come to the United Kingdom.
Yeah, all the British agents in Hong Kong trying to wrestle that area of the world back under British control. Boris Johnson saying, hey, if you fucking fail, you've got refugee status in the UK. That's how he's keeping the army doing what they're doing, because they're getting a wee guaranteed safe house back in the good UK. And it's crazy because British nationalists are now cheering this on when it's getting Hong Kong people to come and stay in the UK. Fucking foreign muck, stay out of country and use fucking meatballs and IKEA. Stop talking about my country, you prick, and Hong Kong. Concentrate on whatever boring shit Sweden is happening in Sweden. Because we all know fuck all happens in Sweden. The YouTube psychosis. The YouTube censorship, it's out of control, folks.
Alright, we're gonna talk about censorship, yeah.
Jeff censored. I'm being censored on YouTube. Telling you I'm being censored on YouTube. I've got 5,000 views, 32,000 followers, and I'm being censored. Yeah, y'all. It's a wee bit more complicated than that. Isn't it? What's happened to the YouTube land? But make your own mind up. BS. BS. Trump news. All right. Oh, let's
and
just,
finally, before getting
let's just look at. Let's look at her slips.
started, I wanted
to get lovely slips.
To note that the president, as you all are well aware, donates his salary to various initiatives and parts across the federal government. In this quarter, he will be donating his salary to HHS, Health and Human Services, to develop new therapies for treating and preventing COVID-19 so that we can safely reopen. Here is the check, amounted to $100,000.
Right, now, so they're saying, oh my god, this bimbo is showing Trump's private banking information. Now, I'm no expert. What day was this? Oh god, I'll figure it out. Yeah, right. Their thumbnail, they use a thumbnail with all the information not blurred out. You know, like, look what a stupid cow this is, showing Trump's private banking details. Here's the banking details she was stupid to show. So, one or two things is happening here. Either they're as stupid as her, or it's a nothing burger, and it's just bullcrap news to try and make the Trump administration look stupid when it's nothing really going on there. It's like, I don't think it's any difference as dishing out somebody's sort code and account number. There's nothing really there's no fraud or anything you can really do with it. You know, the only thing you can really do is pay money in. So as if you can take money out. And I'm going to stab in the dark that same rules apply there. The details that she's shown there, I think it's a check or something, aren't any details that can be used fraudulently or can be used at all and like to do anybody any damage. I might be misspeaking, but it's my stab in the dark. I just thought it ironic that the Guardian was saying, look how stupid, inferring how stupid she was for showing that, and then the thumbnail is like, you can go and look at it on, I can show you it. Or can I? think I've lost it. Well, I have lost it, that is for sure. Anyway, you've seen it was real. I've lost now. I'm lying. Let's just watch her a wee bit. 23rd of May. Let's see if I can get that a bit right.
That will go directly from President Trump and his paycheck that he does not take, but rather donates it to various noble initiatives, including in honor of COVID.
I'm thinking a very young Dolly Parton-esque, you know?
This time, and those who have passed, and the
Something sexy about that kind of southern American accent.
studies underway. He'll be donating it to
On women, not in men, on women.
HHS.
Anyway, I thought that was quite funny. And finally, 5G fear.
And fed remotely.
I can see lots of applications where we can use this in the future. We can look at monitoring fish performance and fish growth. We can do remote sea lice counts. We can look at doing remote plankton monitoring as well.
The salmon industry was worth more than $900 million in exports to the UK economy in 2017. In 2018, Scottish Sea Farms
of this technology, we're using it.
Right, folks, things have went too far, right? The New World Order want to disinfect their trolleys. Now they're trying to make a salmon part of the Internet of Things. Things are too far.
From a Scottish Sea Farms point of view, I think
I've not even got 5G yet, and he's trying to hook salmon up.
Scottish Sea Farms is situated on the Orkney Islands, one of the UK's most remote locations, but it's probably better connected than many in the world. Its salmon farms are fitted with a 5G transmitter.
5G technology, it's great to be at the forefront of this technology. We're using it just for two applications. We're just monitoring the oxygen levels in the water and also the temperature. Both are really important parameters for us because salmon are cold-blooded, so the water temperature is related to their metabolism.
Data is then fed back in real time to the mainland. There is also a live video feed of the fish so they can be monitored and fed remotely.
I can see lots of applications where we can use this in the future. We can look at monitoring fish performance and fish growth. We can do remote sea lice counts. We can look at doing remote plankton monitoring as well.
The salmon industry was worth more than $900 million in exports to the UK economy in 2017. In 2018, Scottish Sea Farms produced...
Bet you those salmon have got corona. Hey, corona. God, was that something? Oh, this is it here.
Think about this from the perspective of being somebody who manipulates the weather and wants to cause climate change disasters and floods, and lead us all to oceanics.
5G uses the frequency of 24 gigahertz. Gigahertz is a unit of measurement along this larger electromagnetic spectrum. You know all about this. You're familiar with this. AM radio waves, FM radio waves. There's cell phones and Wi-Fi. You get into the higher wavelengths, you get into things like TV remotes, visible light, medical x-rays, so on and so forth. So you're probably saying at this point, but what does that have to do with the weather, right? We've got these satellites up in orbit around the Earth, and those satellites pick up on different frequencies. Satellites, though, see atmospheric water vapor at 23.8 gigahertz. So if you've got that 5G signal emitting out a signal at 24 gigahertz, then our water vapor is at 23.8 gigahertz. That's really close to each other on that larger spectrum. So if the satellites are looking down to Earth, they're going to get confused. Is it the 5G signal? Is it water vapor? Ultimately, we're not going to be able to determine that. And that data that's used.
Well, I would just think there's not going to be that many 5G signals at sea.
For forecast models is taken right from those satellites. If we can't use that data, those forecasts are going to get worse.
And they're not going to be able to predict any incoming weather modification. Just another benefit of your friendly neighborhood 5G. It's all about getting that video on your phone 10 seconds faster, right?
I think it's faster than
Right.
Right. See, again, 5G along with disinfecting our trolleys, making our salmon part of the Internet of Things, and now they're turning, I don't know, manipulating the weather. 5G messing up weather satellite signals. It's a direct energy weapon that's messing up Max Egan's nut. Anyway, there we go. That's 11 bells. Say hi to everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's Not the Infowars Nightly News. The OG, the original baby, alternative look at the so-called alternative media. Skeptical with the spectacles, technically sunglasses, about the so-called skeptics, and watching the motherfucking watchmen, no matter who they are. So thumbs it up, share it, friends, family, foes. Remember, it's a digital busking show. It's all available and accessible free of charge. I'm going to do such a good job, you'll find value in what I do and use your spare change, not your life savings, in the PayPal button down below. And a mega thanks to those who do. And I'll say hi to those into the chat, and I'll push this button and I'll do an Ioken. Try and do an Ioken. Oh no, I can't. Wrong place. Subscribe, hit the bell, and all will be well in the New World Order dystopian future. Ding! In the evening, everybody. Hopefully he's enjoyed the OG alternative look at the so-called alternative media. Hopefully he's enjoyed it. Cha, Jesus, Bright, Maria, you gotta see her. Pontiac in the evening, guys and girl. Check out Pontiac if he can still get to people's channels. Go and check out Pontiac's tunes that he sticks up on his channel and on Spotify. No, that's Joe Rogan. SoundCloud, I think. Tell him I'm music man, can't you? Chad, Jamesy Boy, Jesus, Creepy Crawl, in the evening one, and all blazing stars. How you doing, my man? Cha, Pontiac, Bright, Nemesa, Bright, Pontiac, Creepy Crow, Who Cares, Maria, Gas Mask, how you doing, my man? In the evening, hold on, what's happened here? Blazing, the councillors 7 Zen was in earlier. Amanda's allotment, how you doing, Amanda? Hope you're keeping well. Cobra Kai. Okay, so thanks for joining one and all. If I haven't said your name, you're Deep State Illuminati confirmed, and I am censoring you. Because this is a absolute freedom area. You have the freedom to say what you want, and I have the freedom to block you. It's all about the freedoms in here, baby. Anyway, you know what I'll do? I'll do a wee 10-minute. I'll do a wee 10-minute count out for those folk that want to chill out for a wee 10 minutes as we get out of here. So thanks for joining. There's the Dot, the artist formerly known as Tony as well. Cha. Okay, what day is it? Tuesday. Sub bell up for all the stuff I'll put up between now and Friday for another See Through the Fear Porn Friday. Alrighty, boob tubes, have a good one. I'm gonna go and chill out. Catchies. Clips.
Tonight at 11.
Doom! It's a plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning now! Excuse me.
This is not the Infowars Nightly News, where the answer to 1984 is not $19.95 plus shipping and handling, but the answer is to try and understand the double barrel bullcrap, the double speak, and the Orwellian wonderland we now find ourselves in. So sit back and relax as I take you through a real alternative look at the news and so-called alternative media alike. Enjoy.
Clips. Remember, citizens, to stay safe, subscribe, hit the bell, and you will be well. Ding dong.